All right. I think my mic is on. Welcome in, Ryan. Welcome in, Cookie. What's up, Orion? All right. KFC worker. Oh, it was too late. That's okay. That's okay. So I didn't realize I had my my inventory open. I was thinking you'd just... Okay, this is so annoying to me. Can you see how there's no particles on the spawners? That's not actually a thing. Like, they're on. They're just... It doesn't show in F5 mode for some reason. Like, look. I can look in third person back here. It totally looks fine. But I turn around. Bam. They just are plain and ugly looking, unfortunately. It's kind of the way it goes. All right. We are a little pressed for time. I would have started exactly on time, but I was testing something for a future video, and then I had some serious audio problems, so that's unacceptable, I hear, when it comes to YouTube's, so we're not going to do that. I've prepped some good tools. I actually forgot I had looting 2 on this, but so we're going to go ahead and snag ourselves some more spawners. All right, we're just going to get to it. How does the audio sound, guys? Does it sound okay? Nothing too loud, nothing too quiet? And the vein, welcome in, welcome in. We are going to be wandering a ways away here. Gotta double check. Make sure I can actually see the whole chat. Oh, wait. I just realized I was going to show you guys my progress before we left in case some of you guys haven't seen it. We'll look at that. It'll take 2 seconds. Oh, also, I have pork chops in the oven. Can't leave the oven on. That's one of the no-nos of having a house. Though, it would be generous to call this a house down here. All right, so there's our whole little pig spawner area. Then we got our third of our chest is full. The goal is for all of it to be full. So that's our progress right now. We want to get a full another stack of these. And the vein, I'm not sure if you've been here for any of the streams, so I'll demonstrate. By the way, the reason these are pigs is because when you pick mob spawners up, they lose the mob ID inside of them. So it doesn't actually have anything inside, but it defaults to pig. So there's going to be a pig inside of it. Now in these versions, Silk Touch actually picks up spawners. So when we pick this up, it's a little slow. They drop. Okay? So yeah, we're going to get a full chest of these. We are 33% of the way done. Now let's make sure I have all my my pork chops out of the oven. It's just not good to leave these. We're all good? Yep, okay. Also, I need to have food because this could be a long trip here today. Lit, good to hear that the dump truck got canceled. Though I'm sorry if that delays everything you were working on. Zenith would like some context other than the start of a new world. What are you talking about, Zenith? You've been here in some of the other streams. Get out of here. You're in the know. All right. So I've been running all around. On my last trip, I came home with about 230 spawners. Or sorry, 215, I guess is actually the exact number. But to get them, I was literally underground and I moved 3,000 blocks. I went from like 2,000 in the X direction to 5,000. It was crazy. But so because you can't exactly just find more spawners in places you've already been, I've had to move further and further out from my base every time. Zenith, did you miss the fact that I died in my last hardcore world? I feel like we talked about this. But yes, we are starting fresh, and we aren't just going to do the same stuff, but we're going to do 10 times as much stuff, and it's going to be awesome. First step, though, is getting spawners in these versions. Spawners are pretty rare, so that's true, and the vein. But in older versions, there aren't as many structures underground that clutter up the world generation. And also, cave spider spawners are fairly common due to how common mine shafts are. So it's really not all that hard to find them. it's just time consuming because it requires a lot of mining. And you can't really get good tools as consistently in these versions as in old versions. Like, it took some work to just get efficiency 3 on breaking 3 on these pickaxes, since books don't even exist here. Let's see. Zenith, yeah, bro. Okay, good. Hello, cow. If I was okay with cluttering up my inventory with steak, I'd do it right now, but I cannot hold the holy meat. I cannot hold it. It's just this is gonna be full of stuff by the end of this. My last trip, I came back with like 20 diamond blocks that I found while I was playing. So, Orion, watching this. Oh, excuse me. Watching this while going to the park. Are you touching grass, Orion? It's got to be fake news. Excuse me, sir. Wait, was that a creeper back there? Oh, it was. It's got to be fake news. Yeah, you lose 30 levels when you enchant and the vein, and also it's completely random. The only way to really even kind of so for context, I did a test to try to see how many attempts it would take to get Silk Touch. It took 8. I got Silk Touch on my 8th try, which means I wasted 240 levels just to get Silk Touch one time, and I got crappy enchants every other time. So I've been using save scumming. I've talked about it in my videos, but basically just make a save right before you enchant. Then if it's a bad enchantment, you can just reset, because it's just way too time consuming. It would add probably 20 to 50 hours to this project just enchanting. So it's just not worth it, even though it would probably be, I mean, definitely be more, you know, vanilla. Ryan, you do in fact touch grass. I guess I'll have to take your word for it. Johanna Flyful, this is beta 1.9 pre-4. You can see it at the top of the screen. It is one of the last versions before the full release of Minecraft came out in 1.0. So it's very old, which is part of why it is so broke. Squarkles, yeah, it's just gambling. Yeah, they made the enchanting system a bit kinder to the player in later versions, but where I am currently sitting, it is very mean to the player. It's very unforgiving. Okay, we're gonna make a boat. We got to go a little further here. Yeah, I'm not interested in torturing myself and the vein. It's personally, I find that to be unenjoyable. Not very fun. And obviously Mojang didn't either, because they changed it themselves later on, so I feel okay about it. All right. I'm going to go a little farther out. So how's life? Life is pretty good. Had a good day today. Didn't have school. Slept in a little bit. Worked on some of the planning for my next videos. It's gonna be pretty crazy, man. I have some wild ones in the works. I've been doing some planning for my Enchanted Golden Apple project that's coming up pretty soon. That's gonna be a big one. Life is Roblox. Get out of here, Squarkles. And the vein, I'm 26. All right. Let's go ahead and just check right here on this island real quick. And where am I from? Okay, and the vein. These questions are starting to get a little scary. Lit, what are you doing? Thanks. Wait, I can't read it. It's too small. Only 2 more spawners. Oh my gosh, get out of here, Lit. Appreciate the 10. That's crazy. You didn't have to do that, but it's very nice of you. All right, we're gonna ignore the iron for the time being. Oh my gosh, you're really hoping to follow me down here. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go into this wall real quick. All right. Not seeing anything promising around here, unfortunately. I don't see a single mine shaft, though this cave system is completely in the way. Oh, wait, there's one over there. We can go that way. That'll be the plan. And the vein, am I on Twitch? I do have a Twitch account, but my internet has proven itself to be unreliable when it comes to multi-streaming. So I haven't had an opportunity to actually really do anything on Twitch. The one time I tried, stream became completely unwatchable. So I have not done anything on there yet. Though I hope to in the future, maybe if I get my internet connection to be a little faster where I am. There's just not much I can do at the moment. Hey, always have to check the link works. Yeah. More people should check that just in case. It might only work for lit. We don't know. We don't know. So it could be that, like, you know, it's the only working for him. Somebody should check. No, I'm kidding. But is there a legacy texture pack? Is this a legacy edition texture pack? Technically speaking, yes. So this, I've explained this before. I'll explain it really quickly here before monsters come out and try to eat me. But basically, this right here, these are bricks, right? Place them down. They look like normal glass, but as soon as they touch a block, you can see through it. And it's because there's a glitch in the code in these versions that makes it so if you turn a block's texture transparent, the blocks surrounding it don't have their faces properly rendered, which means you can see through them. And it allows you just to have like kind of a weird quasi spectator mode X-ray kind of view. And it's what allows us to get spawners so fast. Otherwise, it would take about 20 times as long. So it's a quality of life kind of improvement that I've chosen to take. It would probably be, if you want just one spawner, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you want them in large quantities, it's definitely something you should do. You should get a second monitor. They totally help internet speed. Yeah, that's how it works. The more monitors you have, the better your internet is, actually. That's why, like, the end goal of my life is to get, like, one of those, you know, like the Dark Knight, like the huge screen of phones that that Batman uses to hunt the Joker down. Like, that if you have that in your house, your internet speed will be like God. Ooh, there's a spawner right there. We'll go grab it. It will be God tier. You'll be like seeing the future on the internet. Le floof. So it won't work on Java. This is Java. I don't really know what you mean. I'll take this. Might as well. I came back from my last trip with like almost 2 stacks of iron blocks. So I have problems. I'm going to try not to distract myself by mining ore too much. Just because it's it takes away the speed of spawner stuff. So yeah. So this specific glitch LaFloof only works in like specific beta versions, including this one. So it would not work in modern ones, unfortunately. You would just if I was to upgrade and not change anything about this texture pack, it would just turn into normal glass essentially. All right. Let's grab some iron and more iron. I'll take the redstone too, and we'll mine it. Let's go. All right. Zenith, will the wormhole V2, there's our first spawner of the stream. Let's go. We're not going to count the one that I mined in the base because that was just a demonstration. All right. Now, so there is some mineshaft that way, but I actually saw more this way, so I'm considering going over here instead. Because that's actually, like, I can see one right there. It's a bit more promising looking than what I was seeing over here. 1 down, 62 to go. Exactly. Exactly. So we're going to follow this cave over to those mine shafts over there. Though we may return this way if it turns out to be a poopy mine shaft. Get out of here. All right. And the vein, what's that version? Are you asking my specific version again? It's beta 1.9 pre 4. Specifically 1434. There's sometimes depending on what launcher you use, you might see that there's different like versions of beta 1.4, so just kind of depends. I completely lost where the cave continued. I think it's right there. Why do you need that many spawners? It looks a bit overkill. I mean, it's obviously overkill, but I actually have some plans. If you missed the beginning, the when you place them down, depending on your version, they default to pig spawners, which means that this with spawners like this, you can create the most efficient pig farm possible in Minecraft. So I'm actually going to break records with this thing. It's possible it could be the fastest pork chop farm, period. It just kind of depends on how efficient it is overall. It has the potential to be from like 100,000 pork chops an hour to 450,000 pork chops an hour. And the fastest hoglin farm I've ever seen produces around 276,000 pork chops an hour. But there's some testing that has to be done, so I can't really guarantee the Piggo Dome. I'm actually considering changing the namelet, by the way. The Piggo Dome was a beta design. I'm considering calling it the Piggy Bank and having a different design. It'll be fun. All right. Now, I believe it's just right up here. There it is. This will be fun. So it's more for food than the XP? Absolutely. Pigs are actually really bad for XP. Relatively speaking, they drop way less XP than, you know, any mob. I mean, aside from, like, assuming that you're talking about hostile mobs. It's just, like, on par for a passive mob, but since there are, like, hostile mob farm options that can give you lots of XP, it's really not worth it as an XP farm. But it's not terrible. But yeah, it's definitely for the food, and also you can sell the pork chops and get emeralds, so it has multiple purposes beyond just food, but not really so much XP. Someone's car alarm went off. Well, I missed that. I don't know if that's oh, you're talking about in the park. I was like, I didn't hear one, but I don't know. Maybe you just have super ears and you just heard someone outside my house. Cookie, it's strange that you feel Russian ever. Not that that's a bad thing to be or feel Russian, I guess, but it's just interesting that the cold specifically does it for you. There's another one right there. Let's see. I feel like Silk Touch should still keep spawners. I feel like it should too. I feel like also, oh my gosh, I forgot about the fact that this has looting 2 on it. I'm gonna get so much gunpowder this run, it's gonna be crazy. I think also that, like, there should be some kind of vanilla way to have the player interact with spawn eggs. I feel like getting, like, unlimited amounts of them would be ridiculous, but, like, getting, like, a couple or something would be so cool in vanilla. The only real way to do it is with April Fool snapshots or commands, though, unfortunately. Okay. But yeah. For now, I just have to suffer and live with the fact that I can only get the spawners in these versions, which is why I'm getting so many and I'm doing overkill stuff, because I won't come back and do this later. Oh, a diamond. Very nice. Okay, I'll take this gold as well. It's too bad that fortune doesn't work on any ores aside from diamonds and coal in these versions. Okay. Oh, there's one right there. Very good. Squircles, that's not a bad idea either, honestly. I think that, like, I'm kind of confused why they don't. Well, I mean, I understand there's some things they don't want to be movable with pistons, but I don't understand why, like, for example, I don't understand why you can't move dispensers with them. That makes no sense to me. Like, you would be able to cut down on TNT duping without too many complaints if you just made it possible to move dispensers around with a piston, but they haven't done that. You must have so much string. I tossed most of it out, honestly. There's too much. But yeah, you do gain a lot in the process of doing this. Blue Shiny Rocks is a pretty good name for it. There's another one right there. We're going to go to that one. Oh my gosh, the arrow hit me when I broke the block. I was like, no way one of those skeletons just been sneaking around the corner. Yeah, it is difficult. It requires a lot of, like, you know, a lot of work for the computer on the back end to keep, you know, to keep track of what's in it and all this different stuff. There's a lot of potential for glitches, so that makes sense. It'd be crazy if after, like, 15 years they finally make them movable. There it is. By the way, I'm curious, how many of you guys have heard of the God Particle Farm? It's not a new build, but I had a thought about it today that I thought was kind of interesting. Curious how many of you are familiar. There we go. Ah, no, I'm falling. That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan. Okay, we're good. Yeah, Mojang is a little lazy. Angry Child and the Vein have both heard it. I had a realization today, and it's very interesting. So, I mean, we all know that, like, generally speaking, dupes in Minecraft, I mean, you can do them in single player and nobody's going to judge you, but, like, they are kind of looked as a little bit as cheap, right? And people generally look down on them, on just duping in general. It just kind of defeats the purpose of a lot of stuff in the game. I didn't really realize it until today, but all the God Particle Farm is an insanely complicated dupe. And nobody really thinks about it that way because the sheer amount of effort that goes into making it, like, launders the fact that it's a dupe to the point where you don't even realize it. But, like, I literally hadn't even thought about it until today. But, like, it's just totally a dupe. Like, it's just a duping, an XP duping machine that is probably the most complicated dupe I've ever even heard of or seen. And yeah, KFC, it is cubic meters design for sure. I would agree though, who said that? Squirkles. Yeah, I would agree it's about the effort that kind of also helps. At the end of the day, if a dupe still requires you to spend as much time and effort as SB or others have spent to, you know, to get that result and get the dupe to work, it almost doesn't even feel like a dupe anymore, I guess. It's probably part of it. All right, we're going to see if we missed any. Oh, we did. There's one right here. All right, well, I don't want you to blow me up, and I don't want you to blow me up. But actually, I need to get down here. Never mind, it's not down here. It's like underneath this, isn't it? Nope, I was completely wrong. It's over there or something. Oh. Well, that was a very inefficient suicide charge by that creeper, but whatever. Alrighty. I have somehow... Oh, there it is. It's around this corner, isn't it? Anyway, I'm having so much trouble finding this. There we go. All right. Place some torches down so I don't get sneak attacked from behind. That's there. Oh my gosh, I got sneak attacked from behind. I wasn't paying attention to, behind me. That's one of the ways to keep yourself from being sneak attacked from behind, I hear, is to watch your back, but I forgot that crucial part of the strategy, unfortunately. Man, noob tier stuff right there. Squirkles, I'm glad you like the streams. I think they're pretty fun, though I'm still figuring it out, honestly. So, if there's issues, it's probably somebody else's fault. Let's see. Oh, there's just oh, I've already been here. I was literally right here. That's kind of funny. Okay, let's do a little checkaroo this way. I don't see anything. This might be as much as we're gonna get on this little mineshaft spot over here. Angry Child, the world size, I haven't actually checked. It's not too big, but it's fairly big. You have to consider that these older versions have half as much stuff to store per chunk because the world, well, half, that's not true, but less stuff to store per chunk because the world depth was not as deep. It goes down to just Y0 because there's no deep slate in these versions. Also, by the way, you'll notice there's some diamonds right there. Any diamonds I see through this thing, I have to not get. So if I see them through this first, even if there were diamonds I would get regardless of whether or not I'd seen them, like they were just around the corner and I would have seen them in 2 seconds, I've committed to not picking them up. So that is the rule. You will not see me pick up any of those diamonds on stream. At least not on stream, As soon as stream's over, I'm going back. But no, not really. Okay, now let's figure out which way we're going. That way. What are my PC specs? So, see, it's annoying because, like, I know on modern versions it just shows it on the screen in F3, but it doesn't do that in these versions. So I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think I have a 4090 GPU, and an i7 1300 Intel CPU. Other than that, though, I forget my specs, to be honest with you. Oh my gosh, get out of my face. It's not appropriate. Personal space. We should force staking to make a house. No, no. Orion, my outer end islands are like 85% mini islands and 50% actual islands. Very interesting. And the vein, like the rule, good. I like it too. It helps me justify using them to find spawners. They just have to be like the only thing I'm actually using the glass panes for. Or I guess, you know, the bricks. All right, drowning would be a bad way for this to go, so let's not do that. Okay. See, I'm actually a little behind where I started, I think. Ice cake, make a house. I have a cave, guys. I have a cave. It's a very nice cave. It's like the best cave I've had, you know, in a while. I don't think I think it's pretty good. And I even added some wood on the sides. I showed at the beginning of the stream. You can rewind and look at those. Oh, it's so beautiful. Honestly, it's basically a house. Basically a house. Yeah, swimming is painful. That's why I used the boat before. We'll get to land in a second, though. Hopefully that's not just an island. Yeah, so actually this is a laptop, because laptops are cheaper and I'm poor. But it's a very nice gaming laptop for sure. Which is, I think it's also part of the reason why multi-streaming is hard on this thing, because laptops just do not have the same, you know, skills. Wouldn't be surprised if your world ends to pre 1.13 swimming. Yeah, I'll just commit. You know, I'll just end it myself because the swimming takes so long. That'll be how it ends. Make a house next stream. I'm open to that. I'm open to that. Just like, you know, living on the surface with, like, you know, the peasants. I don't know, man. I mean, it's rich people have their bunkers. That's how it always works. Okay, let's see. All right, we got some good stuff down here. It looks like. I don't see any spawners. Wait. Using like my peripherals are strong here. Okay, there's not much right beneath me, but there is some ahead. I should make a shed on top of my cave, Cookie. I feel like that's not exactly a great solution, but it's cool. It's cool. Pumpkin, welcome in, welcome in. The water's not deadly, just ultra slow. I mean, it's psychologically deadly, Ice Cake. It's it hurts your self-esteem. You know, I was I was swimming away from a spider a couple days ago off stream when I was doing a trip by myself, and I couldn't outrun it in the water. We're like the same speed in water right now, so it's like it was gonna catch me until I got to land. I've played Portal 2, Cookie, but I haven't played Portal 1. Also, one nice thing about having this is that digging straight down isn't actually a danger, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I've played through all of Portal 2. I actually own that. I got like the Xbox 360 version of it, so it's fairly old at this point. Though it still works on Xbox One, but I don't play much Xbox anymore. But yeah, I played through the whole thing. Just been a long time. Also, I just realized the British like companion guy that ends up, you know, playing a big role at the end of Portal 2, is that played by James Corden? I just realized it sounds a lot like James Corden. Squircles, will all these chunks still be there after updating to different versions? They will, unfortunately. If you look at the videos from my previous hardcore world, you'll see that the chunks from previously rendered regions, they are really ugly because they get messed up as you upgrade. So it's just I have to bite the bullet on them, unfortunately, unless I want to go and manually reset like thousands of chunks, which just seems like a waste of time. Do I call you me or Staken? Good question. I respond to whatever you want to say, I guess. I mean, as long as it's not late for dinner. But I mean, people generally just shorten it to steak, and I accept that. I think steak is well, there's a spawner right there. I usually accept that. It seems like it's a you know, being called one of the greatest things to eat on the planet is you know, it's a compliment. Steak is amazing, so I'll take that. Sir, excuse me, out of here. Thank you. I think it's actually like right here. Yeah, I could use MCA selector to fix all of it, but I'd rather not use an external tool to do anything in game, to be completely honest. And it's also like, I can just leave. You know, I can just move. I can just leave spawn, and it's gonna be fine. So it's not really that big of a deal regardless. Like, I'm not crying about things looking ugly in certain spots. I think it kind of gives the world a little bit of character. Let's see. Oh, I missed one. Would your ideal job be working at a steakhouse? No, because I mean, they don't really let their employees eat the steak. Like, you don't actually have much access to it. They have some. They have oftentimes people that like people who distribute meat, either cooked or uncooked. They have some pretty specific rules about what they can do with it. Oftentimes they have to throw stuff away. I mean, I could be sneaky, and I probably would be, and just like, you know, snag it out of the trash can. Or I mean, I wouldn't literally take it out of the trash can after like it's sitting there in there for 8 hours or something, but I'd be open to, you know, to doing a little bit of shenanigans to take that meat home. It just kind of depends. And the vein. If you want to call me Alpha Whore, you go ahead. But I'm not gonna respond just because it's not as Wait, did I miss a? I hear a spawner. No, I don't. Okay, but I will not respond, not because I'm trying to not respond, but because I just won't recognize you're speaking to me. No in-restaurant benefits. You could probably buy cheap food, but you wouldn't just get free food. Plus, a lot of it would depend on like your shift, I bet. Like, let's say you're there at close, and there's like a bunch of leftover cooked food. Like, I think like maybe in that case you'd get some, but odds are you wouldn't. Plus, a lot of places like steakhouses, because they're trying to save money on cooking steak, they only cook to order, so they don't have like what you're gonna get is like half-eaten stuff at the end of the day. It's not even gonna be like a fully cooked steak that someone would have to just like send stuff back. But yeah, a lot of restaurants have a policy against it, I'm pretty sure. Gotta get that trash seasoning. Yeah. Oscar the Grouch helped me out. Man, I just made a Sesame Street reference. That's wild. I sometimes forget about Sesame Street. There are some very quality old TV shows I used to watch when I was a kid. Sesame Street's one. And there's also Land Before Time. Land Before Time was amazing, but it might be before some of your time. Steak. Agreed. By the way, how many spawners is needed for this project? I would say at least 1,000 for sure. But it's been a while since I built my my proof of concept, so I'm not confident at the moment. But I'm pretty sure I used at least 1,000. Yeah, oh, okay. This is just a lot of crap going on right here. Okay, let's just place this so it doesn't fall. We don't want anything to jump on our heads. That would be awkward. Okay, we'll grab this one. You'll call me Stroopwafel? Those are tasty. So, I mean, that's not the worst food to be called. You could call me, like, I don't know, what's something disgusting. I mean, I don't like asparagus. I think asparagus... Oh, my gosh. Do you see that? Oh, there's a block here. Never mind. It wasn't that impressive. Hey, guys. I don't want to deal with you guys if possible. I thought that creeper just, like, nailed that 2-block jump there, but he actually just walked on this one. So it was a ruse, a trick. I'd rather not deal with them. We're going to go on the other side of this. Boom. All right. Now there's nothing they can do. They're all stuck out there, little losers. Okay. Mining this. You may have misspelled that. You definitely did, but it's okay. Kyanese. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. My favorite cut is definitely the ribeye. They're really expensive, so I don't actually eat them very often, unfortunately, but they are for sure my favorite. I prefer the fatty cuts. Though a really well cooked, like oh dang, what's the Brazilian word for top sirloin? I forget. Well, now I forget. But top sirloin's very good. So the sirloin cuts, they're less fatty, but they're also just, you know, they're high quality. There's a lot of spiders in here. I'd rather not fall down there at the moment, but at least I wouldn't die from fall damage. But yeah, ribeye for sure is my top one. If I had to choose a specific ribeye, I'd probably say the tomahawk, because tomahawk ribeyes are just fun to cook. But oh, good, I don't have to go down there. Okay. Stay away. Thank you. Okay, let's just make sure we don't get attacked for a second while I look for the next spawner. Well, that was unhelpful. That would be terrifying if mobs could parkour. Honestly, yes, it'd be horrifying. It'd be very bad. Because, you know, for those who, you know, aren't like me at all and are terrible at parkour, it'd be a bit of a problem. Luckily, I'm amazing at parkour, obviously, so I don't have that problem, but yeah. Oh my gosh. I forgot that. I didn't block this off. Okay, we're gonna go through here. No filet mignon. Filet mignon, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, it's very sad, but I've never had a filet mignon. It's super sad. But it's just too expensive, especially for the amount of meat you get. It just doesn't make sense. I'm definitely a quantity over quality kind of person, but if I can get both, I'll choose both. And I think ribeyes are very high quality too, but yeah. Did I see my message? Your message about the end portal? I'm looking up. Oh wow! In a trial chamber, you said you found it. That's pretty sick, actually. Oftentimes they get broken. In my hardcore world last time around, I actually found a similar one, but it wasn't technically in the trial chamber. It was just next to it. It was still pretty cool though. Self glaze. Ice Cake Mace. I'm not sure what you're saying. What about? I apologize. I don't know what I did. Ice Cake Mace. You can get 2 6-ounce, I think, at Trader Joe's for 25 bucks and cook it yourself. See, 25 bucks is the issue there. Like that's the big problem is you think that I don't even buy steaks at normal price, generally speaking. I stock my local grocery store until I find a price I like, basically. Oftentimes that kind of means that I'm buying steak that's pretty close to expiring, but that's just the way it's got to be when you're living a college student, you know, a college student life where you just can't afford food like that, unfortunately. Just the reality. Meat is cheaper in Argentina. Well, I mean, it is the second largest exporter of beef on the planet, so it's not that surprising. Argentina is goated in that way, though the U.S. is actually we have higher exports, but I guess it just doesn't. I don't know. It's weird. Our meat is still very expensive. But yeah, there was actually a point. Fun fact: in Argentina, beef was so cheap and easy to access that, like, if you wanted to impress house guests, you wouldn't have steak. You'd have chicken for dinner, because chicken was much less plentiful and more expensive at a certain time in Argentina. So if you were like having a really, like, if you were at someone's house and they were trying to really impress you, you'd have, like, you know, chicken soup or something. And I'm like, I'd rather have the steak, but whatever. Oh my gosh, there's just nothing there. Okay, we gotta see another. Oh, one right back there. I might have to do some mining to get to it, but I accept that. That's my cross to bear. 13 this fast. I guess we're half an hour in, so that's not actually that fast. We're actually a little behind. We got to speed it up. Stop talking so much. No more talking aloud. Actually, please talk. Helps people chatting in chat. Makes YouTube think I'm cool. You don't impress someone with steak. Yeah, I mean, in the olden times. But they were just confused, and the vein. They were confused, okay? They just didn't understand what they had. It's like, you know, you don't know the good times until the good times are over. You know, the good old days, you don't realize that they were the good old days till they're gone. That's just kind of how it works, and that's how it was in Argentina, apparently. They had the good old days, but they lost them. Steak was cheaper than chicken, but they all complained. I can't tell if you're going to climb up, but I will make it impossible. That's right. Sweet. And let's block this off and block ourselves off here. Bam. We are safe. Let's go. No, meat is still cheap in the vein. Are you from Argentina? That's pretty fun. I didn't realize meat was still that cheap, though. My brother, until so I have some family that live in Argentina actually for work. One of my cousins. Oh, there's a spawner right there. We'll go for that one. He's a software developer, and he actually lives in Argentina full time. Which, if meat is still cheap, I'm very jealous. I was under the impression that it had gotten a bit more expensive since, you know, the olden days, but maybe I'm wrong and it's still goated. Steak, do I make a bender or do I make 4 circuits next? I'm gonna be honest. If this is like oh dang, what is the mod called? The create mod? I have no idea. Okay, I'm very unfamiliar with the create mod. I have actually never even tried it. There are a lot of mods I haven't tried. I downloaded Cobblemon or Pixelmon. I forget which one I used, like one time. Just I'd rather just. Oh, what? I didn't even realize that there were diamonds here. Yo, this means I can take them. Okay, we're gonna mine that with Soak Touch. I didn't bring fortune with me. We'll get rid of sand. I don't want this to fall into lava. Please don't fall into lava. Thank you. And thank you. Very nice. That could be 12 diamonds right there. Everyone read the calendars. Do you really like, I mean, how much reading is there to do on a calendar? I feel like there's not a ton. I mean, it's just numbers. I guess you read numbers. What up, Blue Shadow Man? Also, Blue Shadow Man nicely called me out and told me I was saying too much last stream, so I'm working on that. If I say everyone just say F in the chat or something, because I'm trying to stop. Alrighty. Going pretty well. Oh, I have stream open on my phone to just make sure if I need to ban someone real quick, I can do it, but my phone's gonna die. So luckily we actually have mods in the chat right now. Pumpkin, not the F word, just drop an F in the chat. Come on, you're not listening. You're not listening. Blue Shadow Man, clown on this man. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay. I hate this. You see this? You see this? Ooh, that was dangerous. I'm going to go over here and make some new armor because that creeper just decided to politely tell me that it didn't like my wardrobe. Let's not perish here. The nice thing about armor in these versions is that iron armor here is way stronger than it is in modern versions, but the durability is way worse. So I already have to make a new set, and we're just like 30 minutes in. Let's see. Okay. Problem is, I hadn't even realized I was saying a lot, and so now I'm like psyching myself out. Alrighty. And my phone just perished. Nice, nice. Sir, can I just like come up here, please? Thank you. You're kind of rude, but now you're dead. Alright. I believe there's a spawner up here I thought I saw. Flameflyer, when next video? Whenever this project is done. When I talked about my next my plans for this next hardcore world in my last video, I kind of, you know, I set the expectation that these projects are going to be pretty grindy, so they'll take a little bit. We're a week into this project, and we're a third of the way, so I'm guessing another 2 or 3 weeks until the video's out, unfortunately. Oh, there. Wait, is that the one I just did? That is the one I just did. That means the one I saw. There's one over there. A little farther. National Biodiesel Day. W? I don't know. I don't even know what exactly is being celebrated. All right. Fair enough. Don't know what I would do without my biodiesel. I could have sworn there was one closer than this one, but I'm not seeing it. And that doesn't even look like a very good mine shaft. I feel like, honestly, we spend our time more efficiently going a different way. Yeah, I think so. Okay, Vane, we'll see you later, man. Adios. Adios. Ooh, you know what? We'll grab this iron. I just spent a lot on this new armor, and it's already like almost a quarter of the way gone. I gotta avoid creepers more, man. They shred through your armor like crazy. There's just nothing you can do. All right, we're gonna zoom out of here. What's my favorite resource pack in Minecraft? Honestly, I don't use too many resource packs. I kind of prefer the vanilla textures. I think they're fun. I'm one of those slow adopters. So like I have a hard time with new textures when they're added. Like I'm avoiding saying the new baby mobs. I have a lot of trouble with those. They just do not look very good. Blue Shadow Man, I said, it's different, but I understand that it's essentially the same. Let's see. I can hear, wait, is it just a spider? Yeah, that's just you. Old textures are new. Some of the old textures I really love. If we get back to base relatively quickly, I can show you the diamond blocks. Diamond blocks look amazing in these versions. I love old diamond blocks. But some old things like netherrack are horrendous and should never have existed in the first place, so I don't like those. You can say whatever letters you want, angry child. Dang it, Blue Shadow Man. I'm trying so hard right now. Yeah, the diamond block texture is really great. Okay, this is the way I came in. So we're going to go back this way. Man, I missed it. You're talking about me saying, you know, the forbidden... No, that's my crafting table. I didn't mean to place that. Me saying the forbidden word. Don't worry. I'm sure more forbidden words will be spoken. All right. Let's see what we're working with. Okay, there's a spawner right there. We're good. Let's make more progress. The old netherrack is more hellish than the new one. I'd agree. It's just, you know, the new one doesn't give you an aneurysm. That's kind of my my criteria for why I kind of think the new one's better. It's just, I suffer less, you know, cranial bleeds, if you know what I mean. That's kind of one of my main reasons. But I understand some people like it. And, you know, like I was saying, there is a kind of feeling of being partial to the older textures that I can understand. Even if they're objectively worse, it's just like, I think the netherrack was objectively worse back in the day. Put this back down. Ooh, sniped out of the air. Okay. All right, well, there we go. Now they can't touch me. Yeah, Ice Cake, I think it was supposed to make you a little uncomfortable. It's just, yeah, maybe like people were having seizures. I don't know. I don't actually know what their reasoning was for changing it, though. There are a lot of textures that they changed that I don't think really needed to be changed. I think maybe they're just going for a certain aesthetic or kind of color gradient that they felt like the old textures just didn't really satisfy. Because like, oh, there's one right behind it right there. I feel like the diamond block texture didn't need to be changed in the same way the netherrack one did, but they just decided, you know, it's time. I actually think like the diamond ore texture is amazing in these versions as well. Way better than the modern one. That's another one I really like. A lot of the ores are that way, actually. Though I get the desire to make them look a little more unique, because basically they're all just the same texture with like the blue being replaced with red, or, you know, whatever for redstone and all that. So it's it adds more variety to the textures you see, which I think is a good thing. It's just still, you miss them. Ice Cake, what do I use gold for during the playthrough? I'll be using it for some future projects, but I am planning on getting notch armor again. And notch armor just, oh, there's one right there we'll go to. Notch armor takes around, if you're going for the exact amount of stuff I got last time, it takes 88 stacks, wow. 88 gold blocks. And that's quite a bit. That takes a lot of work and takes a lot of gold, obviously. So it's good to gather it while you can. I'll probably make a farm for it later, since I can. I'll be taking things a bit more efficiently this time. But I'll yeah. But for now, gathering when I can is just a smart move. Just saves me time later. I've got like 3 stacks of blocks in my base right now, so I've saved myself a good amount of time because there's some right here. We'll get this one and we'll go that way. But yeah, I've got a good amount of gold in the base at the moment. Also, you can craft enchanted golden apples in these versions up until 1.8.9, which is totally worth it. So once I have all the gold I need for my projects, I'm planning on just gathering even more to make into apples. So NemuYK, hopefully I said your name somewhat right. There are lots of launchers, the third-party ones that can play these. I think you can. I've never gotten this one on the default vanilla launcher, but there's some third-party ones that for sure can do it. I'm playing on Betacraft, but Prism Launcher, Multi MC, they both can do it. Some people in the chat have said they prefer Prism, but all those can do it. If you hop into the Discord, we have some people who can help you out with it and give you links, but it's not too hard. Oh, Pumpkin already said it in the chat. I just wasn't looking. Well, cool. We are on the same page. Okay, moving on. Multi-MC is the old version of Prism. I didn't actually know that. That's interesting. I honestly, like I said, oh, that's a fall right there. Ooh, gold. That texture's so nice. Well, making the wormhole system like Last World, technically I never actually got around to finishing it. I was still in the process of building it, but that is the plan, and I'm gonna do it more efficiently, hopefully. But oh dang it, I said it. L's in the chat. I am going to build it again though. Is the long story short. Interesting cookie. Good to know. Good to know. Pumpkin, did you say like the stream? Are you just, going full YouTube stream mod right now? Yeah, Betacraft is good. It's also, in my opinion, it doesn't require you to manually install the jar for the version you want to play. It has all of them, saved. So it's very plug and play, aside from the fact that, like, you might need to download an older version of Java to make your computer work with Betacraft. But other than that, it's very plug and play, and downloading Java is not very hard. All right. This is number 19. Not too shabby. I actually get spawners a lot faster on stream, generally speaking, than I do when I'm playing by myself. Because when I'm playing by myself, I take like 80 bajillion tangents all the time. Because I could get a lot of diamonds while I'm doing this if I was to just, delve down into like, different ravines and caves and stuff. I'll take that coal as well. But I don't do it because it would, distract from the point of the stream, which is to get all the spawners. So, off stream, I actually have a way lower spawner per hour rate, but I get a ton of diamonds, so. Let's see. I think I hear a skeleton, but I don't think it's a spawner. Yep, there it is. Okay, I'm going to go down a couple blocks and see what I can see. Kind of feels like there's an argument about launchers going on. I mean, I guess it's not really an argument. More, maybe a debate. I don't know. Feel free to keep debating. Let's see. Okay, this is not helpful. Seeing nothing right here, definitely not helpful. Angry Child, a ton of diamonds while off camera. I am recording the whole thing. For the record, I have all of it recorded. At least most of it. One time, it was funny. So, So for those who don't know, I have two little kids. The oldest is 3. The youngest turned 1 a couple months ago. And the 3-year-old was in the room with me while I was doing a run because he just likes watching me play sometimes. And he was narrating basically everything I was doing, and it was so fun. And I thought I was recording the whole thing with my mic on, so I could like keep that recording for myself for later. And I look over at OBS after I'm done, and it was not recording the entire time. I was so sad. But I'll get him to sit with me again, and I'll get another recording of it. But it was depressing. Oh wait, that's a spawner right there. We'll go there. We'll go there. I should make it easier to mine block transparent. It's a good idea, and you're right. It's just the problem is that most of the ones that are easier to mine are naturally spawning, like naturally generating. So I would just walk around and blocks would be invisible. And I'd prefer to avoid that, honestly. Plus, you know, it makes me have to work for it a little bit more. It's not like it's that hard, but it's slightly more effort. So, you know, there's that. But I'm not sure what would be a good block because, like, you know, there are certain blocks in these versions that should be really quick to mine that don't naturally spawn. But the problem is a lot of them take longer to mine than they're supposed to because Mojang messed up the hardness level for some blocks in these versions. And it's really frustrating. Like bricks, for example, are supposed to be faster than this. Crafting table is supposed to be faster than this. Redstone ore is really terrible. Ice Cake, did you really lose hardcore worlds to AFK while you had to manage your kids? What, you thought I was lying about that? Why would I say my like small children defeated me if that hadn't happened? I don't understand what the upside for me is. I mean, I'd rather say I screwed up. Because I think being killed by small children is more embarrassing than making a mistake yourself. Because almost everyone does that in hardcore. But I had the very unique opportunity to be killed by small children, so that's great. I hear spiders, but I'm not sure if it's a spawner. I don't think it is. Make it netherrack, lol. That's not a terrible idea. Because it is still pretty fast to mine, even in these versions. I'll have to think about it. IDKY, when I started 1.9 pre-4, I cannot dig spawners with Silk Touch. Are you in the right beta 1.9 pre-4? Because there are 2 of them. And that sometimes trips people up. Depending on what launcher you use, it might not work in both. At least I don't think it does. There's like beta 1.9 pre-4, 1.4.3.4, and then there's beta 1.9 pre-4, 14.15. And I don't think both of them work, though I could be wrong. But pretty confident they don't both work. There are spawners and stuff in that direction. So we'll go over there, probably run to the end of this ravine and go right. Ice Cake, when did the textures change? Like the cocoa beans, gravel, and creeper. You're in a 1.4 snapshot. I mean, I don't know. But 1.4 is, you know, 4 full versions after me. So it's not that surprising they're different. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar. Most of my time in 1.4 was spent in an Enderman farm in my last playthrough. So maybe I'll get to explore a little more next time. Though I'll still be in an XP farm most likely. Because I'm getting notch armor again, so... And that is unfortunately a major part of the process. A lot of zombies right here. Don't want to waste durability on killing you. Why are there so many mobs right here? Go away. I just want to look through the walls real quick, use my X-ray vision, and there's nothing there. That was pointless. All right, nothing here either. Yeah, that was totally pointless. Yeah, no, I should just walk away. I should walk away. Vane, welcome back. Welcome back. We have 20 spawners. We are about a third of the way. And we are almost an hour into a 3-hour stream, so that's actually about right. That we want to be moving a little quicker than this. I watched that new Spider-Man trailer, actually. It's been popping off. It had 1.4 million views when I saw it earlier today, but it's up to like 5 or 6 now at least. Okay, I need to go up a little bit to figure out where this spawner is. There we go. There's one right there. I thought the trailer was pretty good. I'm curious where they're going to go with this. It was implying, at least to me, that maybe he's getting like Toby style Spider-Man powers, you know, where he gets like some more innate kind of spider stuff, like, you know, the webs coming from his wrists and whatnot, rather than like, you know, well, they always come from the wrists, but I mean like literally coming from the wrists rather than, ooh, 2 diamonds, rather than just kind of coming from his little, you know, technological thing. I just walked straight into those cobwebs. That's super cool. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty promising trailer. Spider-Man generally doesn't disappoint, in my opinion, so hopefully they keep that up. And this was a complete... it was all like... I just got catfished, bro. There was no spawner here. What the heck? I do hear spiders, though, which makes me think there is a spawner above me. So we'll see. Did I just get catfished into coming this direction and there's absolutely no spawners? I literally can't see a single one except for way over there. And who knows, that might be a catfish too. My goodness. It's all lies and darkness over here. Man did not call the web shooter a technological thing. Look, I forgot what it was, okay? I'm not like a Marvel stan. I haven't been a huge Marvel fan for like 7 years, bro, because like they just fallen off so hard. I've just lost interest. I'm not alone in that, but it's those Spider-Man, like I said, generally doesn't disappoint. There it is. There's the one I freaking saw. Okay, we're gonna go that way. My gosh, I was like tripping. Up. Yeah, we'll go up. Called a web shooter. Yeah. I like to call it technological thing, especially in moments when I forget what it's called. All right. Okay, that's a real one. That is a real one right there. And there's another one there, and I can't get those diamonds. Keep me accountable, chat. I'm not touching those. Dang it, if I just hadn't looked over my shoulder. Beta 1.9 pre-4 1434 Ice Cake. That's the one I'm currently playing, so I know it works. Hi, Tam. My progress. Currently with me, I have 20, about to be 21 spawners. But at the base, I have... I don't know what's 9 times 64, I forget. But I have 9 stacks. So I've made some pretty good progress, but it needs to be faster. Not fast enough. Sorry, I literally already told you what versions it was, Ice Cake. But, you know, it's cool, you know, like, figuring it out for yourself. It's very, very cool stuff. But I apologize for ruining your fun. See these? I can't have them. It makes me sad. But I do have to walk by them, apparently. Oh my gosh. There it is, right there, around the corner. We're good. We're good. I got... See, because I can't get these, since I saw them with the, like, the window thing, I am... This kind of forces me to want to look at deep underground stuff less, which I think is a good thing, actually. It encourages me to not use it as much down here. All right. Yep. Let's get rid of these. Place that. Place that. Alton, what's up? Welcome in. We're just getting some spawners. About to get number 22 for this stream. We are on track, but I want to be faster. Okay. No, you're not supposed to spawn in. Thank you. Jerk. There we go. Place one on top, and then... that was kind of pointless, but I guess I can actually block it in if I really want to. That was not actually... Whatever, we'll just mine it. We'll just mine it. Did I see diamonds on the ceiling, Ice Cake? I did not see diamonds on the ceiling. I see gold on the ceiling, which I will take. Ah! Wow, that was convenient. I already had the torch there. See, I think, Ice Cake, that you're just playing with my feelings. You're trying to break my heart. All right. You thought that the gold was diamonds. Oh my gosh. The rudeness. It was a troll. It was a troll. A prank. Unfortunate. Okay. Wait. That's what we like to see. The creepers next to it we don't really like to see, but we like to see the spawners. We talked about this last stream, but like the worst thing is when there's a skeleton spawner and there are creepers in the dungeon with it. Because then like inevitably one of the skeletons shoots the creeper trying to kill me. Then the creepers blow up the spawner and make my life really depressing. Which is unhappy. Also watch this. This is fun. I'm inside the hitbox for the fence. And so it literally just can't. It knows I'm here, but it can't actually do anything. Why not dupe the spawners? Because that is less fun. Also, generally, my rule... Don't blow up! Okay, good. Oh my gosh, that was scary. Didn't want it to blow up the spawner. I would have been fine, but... yeah, I don't want to dupe items that I can get realistically in a reasonable amount of time by working. I think that it's the same reason I don't dupe diamonds. It's just, you know, I can get them on my own. I don't need help from dupes or X-ray or anything. Like, it's just not worth making the game cheap and easy. I want it to be fun. So same reason I don't like, you know, use aimbot and stuff on like, you know, PvP servers or something. Not that I actually PvP, just an example. But yeah, it just ruins the game basically. Though for people who like saving time and just want to have fun with the spawners, that's great too. Just for me, it's a lot of this is about the challenge, not just about the payoff and having fun with them. Part of what makes it fun is just making it a challenge for myself. So that's why. Do you use the blocking mechanic? It's OP in my opinion. Blocking mechanic. You mean like sword blocking? I don't know what you mean specifically. You'll have to be more specific. That first creeper definitely just wanted to walk away. He knows I'm too strong right now. I'm too powerful. Oh my gosh. The spiders have zero respect though. The spiders are terrible. They just, I don't know who raised these guys. But like, they just have no manners whatsoever. Now that spider's stuck in there. What a loser. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna block this off. There's not that much of a reason to block it off. I'm gonna be safe probably, but better safe than extremely sorry and dead, so. Yeah, the sword blocking allows you to survive creepers way easier. Yeah, when I played this last time, I got in the habit of sword blocking and I was really on top of it. But I just lost that after I finished in beta versions last time I played this, so I just need more practice, that's all. But you're absolutely right, the sword blocking mechanic would be smart to use. It is very overpowered, or I think honestly it's powered. I don't think it's necessarily overpowered. It's great though. Okay, I hear lots of spiders. It makes me think they're either a ton of spiders like in the wall up here, or there's another spawner above me. We shall see. There's a spider there, but that's not the one that's making all the noise. I'm not seeing anything though, so maybe I was wrong. Here, let's kill this bad boy. Going to the wall. Just the right amount of powered. Yeah, I didn't really know how to say it. Block hitting. Every single time someone says block hitting, I always think of Technoblade. Because he famously was always being like, you know, why is block hitting a thing, but then also block hitting all the time? Because, you know, he wanted to be competitive. It's not a dig. It's just funny. Because he complained about the fact that it hadn't been patched for forever, but because he wanted to win Minecraft games, he kept doing it, which is understandable. Well, we were talking about Minecraft version just a second ago. I'm curious if you guys have favorite Minecraft versions. I have a couple that I am a very big fan of. Nemi, I would actually join the Discord. Link should be on at the like beneath the stream. Just join the Discord. We have the texture pack available to download without you doing any work to like set it up or anything. If you just go in and we can help you find it. I would recommend that rather than trying to help you remake it yourself. It's just too much work. Not really. There's no point in redoing work that somebody else already did. I think you should make 4 circuits. 4 circuits sounds really good. Oh, hello, sir. Excuse me. Ice Cake, feel free to make a YouTube's on it. You can send me the link, and I might watch it. Am I gonna... Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go down to pretty low here. 1 second. Let's make sure we don't perish. All right. I'm on this, so can you help where to find it? Well, there isn't going to be a... First off, the point of the Discord is to help answer questions like this, so I don't have to do it on live streams. But I don't have like a website to send you to, because so far as I know, nobody has a texture pack that's ready to download that does the same thing, aside from us on the Discord. So the Discord is me telling you where to go find it. So yeah, if you hop into the Discord, we can help you out. But yeah, there's no like website I can tell you to go to. Vistor, welcome. Sounds very Russian. Maybe he is. I've always thought it'd be cool to have a Russian friend who like could help like threaten people for me, you know? You need intimidating friends, man. It's a requirement. XM, why does the X-ray glass glitch work? Basically, it's a mistake made by the developers in these versions of Minecraft where generally if you place like a transparent block down like glass, it renders in the blocks behind it, so you can see like, oh, I just placed it on top of cobblestone. You can still see the cobblestone face behind it, right? But they set glass up to do that, where it rendered in the block face behind it. But they forgot to do what they've fixed since then, which is if any block is amazing. When any block is transparent in modern, wow, let's freaking go. When any block is transparent in modern versions, it automatically, you know, it shows you the block behind it, right? So you don't just see through the block. But they forgot to do that in these versions. So if you turn bricks transparent, for example, they give you an X-ray-like ability, which I'm using to find mob spawners. State, do I need you to make a more official texture pack downloads and tutorials? I mean, for like the glass thing, I mean, if you want to help people out and make it a bit more easy to find, sure. But I mean, I think it's fine as is, I think. Honestly. Dream Christmas music. Yeah, exactly. W race. Get out of here, Ice Cake. No W racism. It's a lot of lava right here. A lot of lava. Okay, I am not finding a lot of spawners right now. This mine shaft is not goated. I've been very lucky the last couple streams when I've done this. I found so many really like densely packed mine shafts with lots of spawners in them, but this stream has been a little less lucky, unfortunately. Does it have to be bricks? No, it does not. It can be any block. I think Cookie actually, when he got spawners in his world after he saw me do it, he made a texture pack of his own that basically turned all naturally spawning blocks, I think, into like the transparent and glass stuff. So he just walk around, didn't have to place blocks, and he would just find spawners that way. And if you're okay with that, I'd recommend it. It makes it a lot easier, but I kind of feel like I prefer this. Why is chat so delayed? I mean, most stream chats are pretty delayed. I don't know if it's unique to mine, but if it is, I apologize. But I'm pretty sure it's about as delayed as most stream chats are. Spawner right there. Hi Tam, why is oh sorry, I already answered that. I started answering the same question again. Hi Tam, what am I doing with the spawners? I'm gonna make the strongest pig farm in history. That is the plan. So it's gonna sorry, excuse me. Pork chops are going to be the engine that runs my wealth in this world, basically. So we're gonna be using it for quite a few shenanigans down the line. I'll have to look into why chat might be abnormally delayed, but I can't do it for the time being. All right, let's make sure they stop spawning in. Ooh. Okay. W plan. Glad you think so. That puts me at, what is this, 24? 27. Oh, I'm doing way better than I thought. We're almost halfway. Let's take it and make some torches because we're running low on torches. Plop that up there. Bam. Now we'll take these and restock. Perfecto. Yeah, I don't think it's that delayed, honestly, from what I'm hearing. But I understand why it can be a little frustrating because you might be commenting on something that's happening in the moment, and then by the time I respond, it's a little too late. So sorry about that. It is just kind of a reality of streaming, but it's all right. Melons. Are they not in this version yet? They are, but I don't think they naturally spawn anywhere. I don't go to I haven't been to a jungle in this version. Actually, I don't even know if there are jungles in this version. There are melons though. I think I have some melon seeds in my base. Got that. Okay, there's more mine shaft this way. Is there a quick way? No, we just have to mine over to it. That's unfortunate. You missed 2 iron. I'll never forgive you. Fair enough. Fair enough. Just apply that standard to every streamer, and I'll just get more iron, and then I'll be your favorite. Might be different from person to person. That's true. Could be your internet too. Use melons. My gosh. No disrespect to people who like, you know, watermelon. Though actually, I'm allergic IRL, but in game, they're the most worthless thing on the planet. Like, they're almost as bad as spider eyes, bro, or sweet berries. Sweet berries, at least you can clutch with them if you're falling from a great height or something. But like melons, they're just awful, bro. Just terrible. Like, barely even worth eating. It's like how in real life, celery is like, it's so hard to digest that like it takes more energy from your body to digest it than you get from the celery. That's melons in game. They're just worthless. Welcome in, Sheik Faisal Saeed. I'm gonna just say Sheik next time I say your name, but I try to say the full name at least one time. Welcome in. I am allergic to melons. My list of allergies is insanely long, actually. It's a little ridiculous. Also, my screen got a little messed up over here. Fixed it. The shorts feed was very, very hard to look at. Let me see this, actually. Oh, that's much better. Let's put it there. Okay, we're good. Sorry. Emeralds are good. Sorry. Melons are good for villager trading. I agree they are good for villagers, sure, but there are like a lot of other things I'd rather focus on that are useful in other ways too. Like, you can get an iron farm, like a really solid one, and use it for both trading and building. Just way more useful overall, and you get the same payoff, right? So, I don't know. I've just never seen a real reason to go for melons aside from, you know, just kind of building a farm for everything, which is understandable. There it is. I'm legally disabled because of how many lethal allergies I have. Yeah, I have quite a bit. Use melons for the x-ray block. Oh. Well, I mean, I'd have to use Silk Touch every single time I pick them up. Unless I want to, like, slowly lose these. You know? Which would be a little annoying. Plus, it would have to be Silk Touch on an axe. Which isn't, like, impossible to get, but it'd be a little annoying to get. I don't know. I don't know. It's not a bad idea. I would have thought that light was close enough to stop you from spawning, but I guess not. Yeah, my list of allergies is insanely long. I think I said this in a stream or two ago, but I went to go get my allergies tested, and there are like multiple ways they can test. They can like when I was really young, I got my allergies tested, and they literally had me lie down on a table with my shirt off and just stabbed me with pins in the back for like an hour. And it was just like really short, really nice Hispanic lady, and she's like, "Okay, senor, we are going to," and she just like got up on a stool because she was pretty short, and she just like stabbed me repeatedly in the back. I really didn't like her at the end, but it wasn't because she wasn't nice. It's just you don't really like anybody who stabs you in the back repeatedly, I find. That's been my experience. Hold up wool. Yeah, but the problem is I'd have to... Wool doesn't mine very quick unless you're using shears, and that means I'd have to fill up another inventory slot with shears. And you might see this down the line. There we go. I run out of inventory slots pretty quickly on long runs getting spawners, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. That is a good idea, though. If I was willing to sacrifice the inventory slot, it'd be worth it. It'd be much faster for sure. Okay. Just drop down, thank you. I'll take the hit. Just stop playing around. Okay. Literal backstabber. Oh, hey, Bean Jammin, didn't know you were in. Don't know if you just came in. Welcome in. But yeah, she was it was very nice and helpful kind of backstabbing, but yeah, it was bad. The next time though, they either figured out a better way to do it, or maybe they just in reality were being really mean to me the first time. I'm gonna have to dig into a wall really quick, I think. My health is low, so we'll just hang out in here. Oh, I didn't mean to place water. But coarse dirt doesn't exist in these versions. You silly. You silly. Came here from getting dinner. Nice. Hope it was good. Please don't have... Please. I mean, I want you to have had steak, but I was really jealous last time, so hopefully you had like mac and cheese or something, which actually is still obviously really good, but yeah, the next time around, they didn't stab me repeatedly. They did like a cotton swab, but it was like a kind of cotton swab that was a bit more coarse, and so it broke your skin just slightly, enough to irritate it, and that's what they used, which I thought was a way better idea. I don't know why they were stabbing me before, but whatever. Maybe they just stabbed kids. I don't know. Cream of chicken soup and cheese curds. Were they like fried cheese curds, or were they just like, you know, generic unfried cheese curds? Because like fried cheese curds are one of the greatest things ever, but I'm not a huge fan of like, you know, generic kind of cold cheese curds. But if they're like breaded and fried, fried is so good. Not a lot of people sell them, but I think Culver's says they still sell fried cheese curds. I think KFC does it too. Super good. Jealous. Not as jealous as I would have been with steak, but still pretty jealous. They stab kids to test allergies, indeed. But yeah, anyway, what my point I was trying to get to with allergies though was that my doctor was like, "Hey, mistaken, are you like, do you not eat very many fruit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, not really." And he's like, "Well, that makes sense. You're allergic to almost all of them." And I'm like, "Ow! Well, thank you. That explains a lot." I, like, looked over at my mom and like sitting next to me and just gave her a glare because she famously like would just literally shove them down my throat. And I'm like, "It doesn't feel good. They don't taste good." And so I think she got me ice cream that day as like an apology. But I may be misremembering that because that doesn't really sound in character for her to apologize for that. Not that she's like, you know, she won't apologize for stuff, but she couldn't have known, so it's not really her fault. Plus, the problem with like, I don't know if any of you guys come from big families, but the problem with getting ice cream for one kid when there's 9 kids is that all 9 kids will immediately start demanding ice cream, and then you're in a real pickle, man. Same reason why I didn't get an allowance growing up. My parents would have gone broke. All right. You may have caught the back of that cough. First cough of the stream. I'm doing much better. Jimmy, sorry, I didn't realize you sent that one. So there is in the options.txt file in the game files, there is a gamma setting, and you can manually turn your gamma up. So I manually did that. So I have it set to like 1,000,000, I think. Yeah. So it's pretty high. It's just high enough. It's just barely. But so you can manually set it, and I think I set that file to read only, so the game won't revert it. But yeah, so you can manually do it. That's how I did it. Very little bronchitis with an asterisk, okay? Because I never actually got tested and got told by a doctor that I had bronchitis. I don't want to be sued for false advertising. No, that wasn't really how it works with sicknesses, but still. Sorry, going back. Bean Jammin, if you have an allergy to shrimp, do you have one for lobster as well? Yes, all crustaceans I have allergies for, unfortunately. So yeah, shrimp and lobster. Though I've never actually had lobster. I took one sniff and I almost threw up, unfortunately. And it's not because it smells like bad to me. It's because my body has a violent reaction to it, unfortunately. Oh, there's gold. Oh, wow, gold. That's iron. Ah! Ooh, I should get a new helmet. That is a priority for me. Okay. Go ahead and toss this stuff into a hole. Get rid of it. Out of sight, out of mind. All right. A new wardrobe. Whenever I do this, it kind of reminds me of like Phineas and Ferb, or like those shows where the characters wear the same clothes every day. And like sometimes the animators make a reference to the fact that like they wear the same clothes every day by showing their closet. And it's just like hangers upon hangers of the same shirt. It's just funny to me. It doesn't do anything past 10, but a million is funny. Yeah, exactly. It's pointless, but it is funny. I didn't actually deliberately even turn it up this to a million, but I think at least I don't think I did it on purpose. Oh dang it, he teleported away. Okay, I'm gonna die. Yeah. Oh, I forgot I had looting. That's so nice. 2 pearls. I have enough already to beat the game, but you can't actually go to the end in this version, so it would be pointless. I could light the portal, but it wouldn't, like, you know, it wouldn't teleport me. I would just stand inside the portal blocks and kind of just smile. Wait, there's a spawner right there. We're going there. Johnny Chan, how's it going? Going very, very well. Sorry, that was a little delayed. Going very well. Good to see you. Welcome in. If you are just staying for a little bit, glad you showed up. Very fun. Appreciate the well wishes. Endermen are really easy in Java Edition. It's very true. Lobsters need to crease existing. You want them to like fold? I don't know what you mean. They did that in Charlie Brown. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's funny. Good to hear, Johnny Chan. Good to hear. We are almost exactly halfway with the amount of spawners we need, and we're almost halfway on the amount of time I have to stream today. So we are going just about as fast as we have to, though I want to speed up if possible. Because I did start a little late because I was having some audio problems. The computer randomly decided that my headphones were, they needed to get 0 volume. It was just like set to 0 for some reason, and I was like, I didn't do this, computer, and it was like, I don't care. It's what you deserve. Or so said my computer. Thank you. Ooh, gold. See, I don't want to... Yeah. We'll just go ahead and mine this up. Bam. Yeah, in Bedrock, they're terrible. I mean, I remember back in the day when I played Bedrock on my Xbox, it was... Endermen were pretty freaking scary. In Java, they're not very scary at all. They're little wimps, man. Ooh, I'll get more. Okay, we'll just look around the corner. This Y level is very good for diamonds, but I don't want to waste time looking for them when we're looking for spawners. So let's get out of here. What's the gunpowder for? Well, it's harder to get than cobblestone, and so I have like oh, I forgot I didn't mine all this. I have like a priority. I have a list of priorities when it comes to things I pick up while I'm out on these runs, and gunpowder in early versions. I mean, you can make mob farms, but it's a little annoying to get in large quantities. So when I can, I try to keep it. But string is much more easily farmable since I have so many. Like I have a spider spawner by my base, and their spider spawners are really common, so I don't really worry about keeping too much of it. So it's nice to have. Later on down the line, I will be using a lot of TNT for a project, but it's not close enough that I need to get it right now. It's just if I can, I might as well, you know. All right, let's see. Oh. Okay, I don't see anything there. We're going to go through this ravine and see what's on the other side. Lit, it's what you deserve for testing right up to stream time. Okay, Lit, you know what I was testing, Lit. It was worth the time. Johnny-chan, hopefully I have a great hardcore world after this. I mean, after this stream, I hope my hardcore world continues to be great. I don't want a new hardcore world because that would mean that this one would be gone. But I think that isn't exactly what you meant to say, you know, implying that you want me to die. I don't think that was your intention, so I'm assuming the best, my friend. Might as well grab this cold. Ooh. One thing that was really fun when I had my 3-year-old narrating while I was playing was he would imitate the pain noise, and that was really funny. I actually have, like, I'm curious. It would be very interesting to do, but part of me thinks it would be fun to, like, code a mod and where all it does is replace game sounds with the narration noises my 3-year-old was making. It was so funny. Like, it would be hilarious. Like, maybe, like, the idea would be, like, have a whole video where, like, the creepers make his boom noise every single time they explode rather than the default audio. That'd be pretty funny. All right. Johnny-chan getting every armor variant I see. I will be. I gotta catch up on chat. Give me 1 second. While I'm mining this, I'm gonna read through all the messages so I don't make people feel like I'm ignoring them, which isn't the plan. But yes, I am getting every armor variant for sure. Cookie Mage, don't think about it too hard. Bean Jammin', you need a resource pack. You mean, sorry, yeah, you mean for the audio stuff? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. Or something along those lines. Ooh, another spawner right there. Well, love to hear your kids say the ooh sound. It really is funny. The reason that I choose hardcore, even though one mistake could end it, is because it's fun. It's a much bigger and more satisfying challenge than playing in you know, normal survival. It's just too easy for me. Like, and I'm not trying to flex, you know. It's not like Minecraft is necessarily made to be a game that's insanely difficult, you know. So it's not like me roasting anyone else who prefers to play survival. It's just, for me, it's too easy, and I lose satisfaction, like, almost immediately. Like, it's just, yeah, it's just very unfulfilling. So that's why it's not really, even if I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd do hardcore because it's just way more fun for me. It is easier with Prop 5, though, as I've demonstrated. It does not guarantee success. We won't go into that, but elytras are important. We'll say that. How many spawners do I have? 33 on me, and we are 3 minutes past the halfway point, so that is not too shabby. But in my chest back in my base, I have 9 stacks, and in my pig farm currently, I have what, like, almost a full stack. Most of that not actually doing anything because it's too high above the grass, but it's still fun to look at. Oh, there's another spawner right there. We're going back down, people. Living life on the edge. That's right, Bean Jammin'. Blocks off lava that wasn't flowing to begin with. Get out of my face, Ice Cake. Get out of my face. All right, let's see. Yeah, we're going to go down there and around the corner, and that's where it is. I'm just careful, Ice Cake. It's what happens when you play a lot of hardcore and you die in hardcore. You learn to be careful. See, one example is I don't jump into that. That's one way you can be careful in hardcore mode. Look at this. Look how careful I am. See, I kind of figured that I could call you Benjamin, but I don't want to just, like, you know, sorry. I figured I could call you Ben because that was pretty obviously what, you know, the kind of punny kind of name thing you were going for. I just never assume, because what if I'm wrong? You know, there's other people in chat that have very obvious pun names that are like their real name, but I don't think they want their real name to just be thrown around. You know what I'm saying? Though I guess it could be a fake name and it's all just a ruse. There was a spawner over here. Am I tripping? Maybe it's above me or back there. I'll go back there. XM, 9 stacks of spawners. Yeah. I almost put it on the thumbnail for the stream, but I decided that it was just getting a little too busy, so I kept it simple with the the amount in the thumbnail. That thumbnail is just literally a photo from my base in game. Like I didn't do any changes to it. But it's not even like, I think that's 4 stacks on the floor in the thumbnail. Can't even see the spawner. It's so strange. Is that one I've already been to or something? I don't know. Ah. W, careful. Thank you. Thank you, Ice Cake. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, it is the one I already went to. What am I doing? Wasn't there one over here? I could have sworn. Am I like having an aneurysm, bro? Like, what the heck is going on? Now I'm honestly confused. There was one this way. I'm like 100% sure. Bean jamming is what my dad calls me. Well, that's fun. I only mess with you because you're my inspiration. Fair enough. Fair enough. Not like I take it personally or anything. Well, I mean, I get a little personal, but I try to get over it. No, I'm fine. I am actually having issues though. Was there not a spawner over here? I actually don't recognize that Clone Wars reference, Ben. My if it's like the animated Clone Wars, my knowledge of, oh wait, there it is. I see the cobblestone. But my knowledge of Clone Wars references is a little more limited than generic Star Wars. Though I have watched all of Clone Wars just not for a while. What do you think of season 6, by the way? I know that's not new, but curious. I thought the Ahsoka stuff was cool for the most part. I felt like the first couple episodes where it like wasn't really anything important happening. It was just kind of like stuff in like alleyways or whatever in Coruscant. I was not a huge fan of. That's from season 5. Yeah, yeah. There we go. I'm not stupid. Yay. I mean, at least not specifically here in this case, but I mean, I may be stupid, generally speaking. And Kian, you can make a stasis chamber fishing rod thing. I was advised to do it. I ignored the advice and I paid the price. I may still not end up doing it, but it is definitely a good thing to do for sure. Would have saved my world, so it's worth. But you can't do that in these versions. Stasis chambers don't exist here. Season 6 or season 7? Dang it! Yeah, the newest one. Dang it, I forgot how many there were. It's been too long. My bad, my bad, my bad. I just outed myself as not a complete Star Wars, you know, what would you call it? I don't want to call it a nerd because it's not nerd level to know Star Wars stuff, but whatever. Hey, there's a spawner. That's what we like to see. Excuse me. It's always a ruse, Steak Man. I mean, I saw that earlier, but I didn't know what to say because, like, he spelled ruse wrong. Not to be a grammar Nazi. I think being a Nazi in general is bad. Grammar ones especially. Grammar ones might even be worse, to be completely honest with you. That's a joke. Okay. I think the Bad Batch arc, from what I think I watched that. I think that's cool. I was not a fan of the Bad Batch show, though. I will say. I thought it was very disappointing. Wouldn't a stasis defeat the whole point of a world being hardcore? I mean, it's a tool in your tool belt of things you can use to help yourself not die. I don't see how it defeats the purpose, though, because I can still be killed by doing something stupid. I mean, even if I have the fishing rod stasis chamber, I can just not pull the fishing rod in time. Like, I could just be terrible with hotkeys and not even get the fishing rod out, you know, and use it. So, I don't think it defeats the purpose of hardcore at all. I mean, I think if there are things that do defeat the purpose of hardcore, like, you know, using commands, you know, or whatever. But I don't think doing things that make it harder for you to die defeat the purpose at all. I think that's kind of the point. But I don't know. I might be in the minority on that. I don't really think I am, though. That took a little bit, but we got it. I think if you're a real huge enthusiast for Star Wars locations and, you know, history and whatnot, I feel like maybe some of those shows could have been more enjoyable just based on that. I think from a pure just content perspective, though, they were there. I think you'd agree they were like fairly weak in comparison to some of the older stuff. Well, maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe you're like a huge fan, and that's fine. We may just like different things, but we can agree on Minecraft, and that's what matters. That's what matters, chat. That's fair, XM. I mean, if you're like, you know, a zombie, you see a creeper and you just teleport out immediately, that's pretty lame, you know, so I wouldn't do that. But I mean, the real only time I can think of that I'd actually need to pull it is, you know, the way I died in my last world, which was the void. So falling into the void without an elytra would be a good time to use it for sure. But I wouldn't. It's not. I think finding ways to not have to use it would be the goal, obviously. Just like it's kind of like how you know, in most circumstances you can keep yourself from dying with an enchanted golden apple, but you don't want to just use all your enchanted golden apples. Oh, there's a submerged skeleton spawner right there. I thought I saw cobblestone, but I wasn't sure if it was lava. I'll let other people respond to the sequels first and see what people are talking about before I hop in, because somebody might make my case for me. But it is a good question. I'm ready for the debates in chat. All right, Lit. Have a good rest of your night. I'll message you later about what we were talking about before. This is gonna be a really annoying one to get, actually, because underwater is. Oh my gosh. There's a there's a patch of air in here. Never mind. This will be fairly easy to get. That's nice. That's really funny. These ones are always strange. There are just like patches of air sometimes underwater that you'll find in these early versions. You think the Disney spin-off movies were actually really good? I would say it's a case-by-case thing. I don't think Disney completely ruined everything. And I think sometimes the poor reviews were overblown. For example, I actually liked the Han Solo movie, but that, like, I think, you know, in terms of its performance, it was actually a flop, and a lot of people hate it. But I didn't hate it. I thought it was fine. I think that it was less satisfying than I was hoping in certain areas, like the backstory between Han and Chewie being they like met in a mud pit, basically. But I think overall, like, it really wasn't as bad as people said it was, and it kind of got overhated. But could have been better. Like, I would have made some changes personally. I gotta make myself a new shovel real quick. Oh, I need to make. Yep. This is gonna be important. The sticks are a crucial part of the recipe. I've learned that in my time as a pro Minecraft player. Okay, I'll put this back up. Yeah, the mud pit was a weak part. It's just, you know, it's kind of the way it goes. But overall, the rest of it I thought was fine. Yeah, like I wish they could have done something more interesting than just have a Maul cameo. Though I do like, you know, the attempt, like what they did with Rogue One, for example, where there's no Jedi in it. The closest you get is, like, you know, the blind guy cosplaying as a Jedi, right? I like the fact that they can. I like it when they can tell stories in the Star Wars universe that don't involve somebody with the Force doing everything, right? I think that's a good thing to do. I think it's you know, it's entertaining, because it can get pretty stale having the, you know, the plot being resolved by some guy holding his hand in the air every time, if you know what I'm saying. The sword fights are good too. Ah, sand. No, thank you. But yeah, I think that that stories that don't necessarily involve Jedi as the main characters are pretty fun. So that's one thing I actually do like about the Disney Star Wars stuff. But there are also some issues. That spider won't let me place a block, but that's okay. We'll still get it. I would say Rogue One was probably the best that Disney Star Wars has done, personally. I think it was just it was a very well contained story. The characters were interesting. I thought it felt really gritty and really fun. I don't know. I thought it was cool, but I think personally though that like, wait, what direction am I looking right now? Okay, yeah, I'm looking the wrong way. We're going the other opposite direction. But I feel like one of the things that Star Wars in general has had a bit of an issue with is the obsession with only making movies and stories about, you know, the Skywalkers and, you know, that kind of time period, whether it's Anakin or Luke or whoever or Rey. I feel like there's so many fun stories they could explore in, like, you know, the Old Republic, for example, that there's just so much untapped potential there, but they don't touch it. I believe if I were to get 100K subs, celebrate with Wagyu. Honestly, I would. That is very likely that I might do that. I've never had it before, but I mean, I'd have to really celebrate, and maybe like maybe a future video will pay for that. I don't know, but yeah, that'd definitely be fun. I want to try it, but I'm like afraid that I'll be like I won't like it enough, and then I'll feel like I wasted several $100s because that's just it's expensive, man. Is that a spawner down there? No, it's not. Yeah, they did do right by the Clone Wars. I do think that was great. Filet mignon from Trader Joe's or Costco. Oh, sick, a spawner over here. I'm gonna kill this Enderman as well. I'll consider a filet mignon, but like I said, I don't know if they're my cup of tea, man. I mean, they're very tender, considering that it's like, you know, it's a very tender cut. It's not very fatty, and I like the, you know, the fattier cuts. My dad is like actually, oh, I missed one. I'll go back and get that in a second. But my dad is actually obsessed with like the fat on steak. Like, if I gave him a steak-sized slab of just, you know, steak fat, he would eat it, 100%. I wouldn't go that far, but I would probably eat a good amount. I could do a stream where I cook the filet mignon. That'd be sick. That would be interesting. I'm a little worried about turning a camera on, though, because, like, I don't want to accidentally face reveal, because I'm saving that for, like, when I have to. Because, like, I'm not horrible looking, but, like, you want to make sure that you have enough subscribers where, like, you know, even if you lose half of them, you still have a good amount. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's mostly a joke. But I do want to hold off on face revealing, even accidentally, for as long as possible. I did accidentally in an unlisted stream with some people I was doing testing with earlier, like last week. I did, like, some of them know my first name now, which is unfortunate. That's the way it goes. You can't perfectly hide everything on your computer all the time. So I'm planning, my first name will get out to everyone fairly soon, I'm sure, but not yet. Disney's worst act was canceling the Clone Wars. I didn't know that. I didn't know there were that many unfinished episodes. When I have to is crazy, lose half is crazy. Well, it is an exaggeration. I'm not actually serious, but I'm not that bad looking or anything. Though maybe if I, like, you know, turn on my face cam and I have like a Hitler stash, that makes sense. But I fortunately do not have a Hitler stash, so maybe I wouldn't lose half my subscribers. No. Nah. I think that generally speaking, face reveals don't actually go that poorly. I guess my, like, the most famous face reveal, like, I've ever seen is obviously, like, Dreams. And that did not go very well for Bro. That did not. Other than steak, what's my favorite food? That is a tight competition. See, this is where it gets a little interesting, because, like, there's a lot of nostalgia that plays a role here, even, like, you know, beyond just it tasting good. Because you know how it is. There are some foods that just, like, you know, they bring back memories, or they remind you of home, or, you know, whatever it is. I really like, oh, dang it. What the heck is it called? Why am I... See, this is the problem with streaming, is you forget random things that you're supposed to know, like, you know, your last name and, like, other stuff like that. Last name is actually a good thing to forget when you're not trying to let people know your last name. But, dang it. It's a kind of pasta, but I'm blanking on the name of the pasta now. I'll remember it after stream, and I'll, like, make a post about it. But, dang, that's kind of frustrating, actually. But I do like any kind of barbecue. Or any kind of, honestly, any kind of meat I generally like. I have a really hard time with pork chops. They're not on the list, but, like, pork ribs. Oh, I I go crazy. I actually, I'm beginning of next month. My extended family get together at the beginning of every month to have like a dinner, and I'm gonna be. It's my turn to do some cooking for it, so I'm gonna cook up like 20 pounds of pork ribs for us all to eat. It's gonna be awesome. I've been practicing quite a bit, and my skills I've leveled up. My ribs are very good. Not my personal ribs. I haven't tasted those, but I mean like the ribs that I make. Yeah, that's kind of wild that they'd give up on, putting something out there when work's already been done to complete it, Ben. Though, it's I don't know. I have a hard time believing that the quality is bad and that's the reason. But I know like some movies or shows they do like, decide not to release something because it's so awful. Like the Batwoman like thing. What was it? Halle Berry who was doing that? I forget who was doing it, but somebody was playing Batwoman and they literally just like deleted the whole thing, lost like 150 to 200 million dollars on it because they didn't want to have to deal with how bad the movie was, which is bonkers. Give me a sec, I'll catch up on chat in a second. Yeah, that's right. You just got yoinked from this reality, my bro. There, no sneak attacks from behind. All right. Lasagna, fettuccine, Alfredo. No, it's one that has beef in it, but I don't understand. Maybe Mrs. Staken will come in and like slide a note to me because we eat it all the time, but I'm just blanking on the name for some reason. But oh, it's beef stroganoff. There it is. Yeah, I really like beef stroganoff. I don't know what it is about it, because like just thinking about it and looking at it, you're like, there's no way this would be on my list of favorite foods. But it's like my mom she made that pretty frequently for me and my siblings when we were younger, and I guess it just like it achieved nostalgia status, and it's just like it's very, very, very good. Okay, gotta hold off and actually catch up on chat. I feel bad because there are people that are waiting for my wisdom. Okay, let me see. Boffy is one of my personal favorite face reveals. Never seen it. Ice Cake, I do use OBS. But the problem is Betacraft. What happened? Sorry, what happened with my name reveal, my accidental name reveal? It wouldn't have happened if I was playing on the Minecraft launcher or potentially another launcher. But Betacraft is a little unique in the sense that OBS doesn't recognize it as a game. It recognizes it like it sees it the same way it sees like Word, like Microsoft Word or something. It sees it like a file explorer or like, some kind of it doesn't recognize it as a game. And so game capture is generally the kind of system where it like focuses on just the game, and even if you put like, your social security card on a window on the screen in front of it, the viewers will only see the game. But unfortunately Betacraft doesn't get that same treatment because OBS doesn't recognize it as a game, and I haven't figured out how to change the settings so it will. So yeah, that's why, unfortunately. Bean Jam, and I wish you'd invited me. Are you talking about the stream where I name revealed? I mean, it for if that's what you're talking about anyway, it was a members only stream, so you'd have to be a channel member. Well, I guess the mods were there too, but they're my mods. I kind of need mods. But yeah. Plus, I'm kind of glad there weren't a ton of people there because it also, I don't think anyone's caught it before I got it off the screen. But my full personal email was on there too, so that would have been a big problem to have on the internet forever. Steak, I'll show you how to use Prism. It works better with OBS. Yeah, I keep forgetting I want to do. I got distracted by mining iron. I just wanted lots of it. Is it below me? No, it's above me. Okay. I have a torch. Ah, that's not a torch. I can't believe that guy didn't hit me. How have I still not gotten hit? Very good. That's just my skill level, You have to be as good at the game as I am to avoid getting hit by the cave spiders, If you're just, get on my level, guys. Come on. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna catch up on this again. I keep getting distracted by answering a question, and I talk way too much. And so, like, I promise I'm gonna catch up, and then I answer one question, and then I move on. It's a problem. Okay, let's mine this. Let's see. Ben. Mother Talzin versus Palpatine would have been crazy. There's some crazy stuff there. I didn't know that. Okay, let's see. No, the grill. Tasty barbecue. Oh, man. Well, I mean, if you live in the Midwest, just kidding. You know, you're not invited. Sorry, it's just for family. I'm too poor. I also have to pay for all the ingredients, and pork ribs are not cheap, and I already have, including my in-laws, there are already more than 20 of us. So it's not going to be financially feasible unless everyone donates money. Just kidding. Don't feel pressure to do that. But they'll feel free, of course, of course. But yeah, no, it'd just be too expensive to actually invite people for it. Though I do have a dream down the line after I've like face revealed to do a party with like viewers IRL and just like make steak or do a barbecue or something. That'd be so fun. Let's see. $5 for a name reveal worth LOL. No, it would be more than that. I'm not gonna. I don't have a number to put on it though, because you know I don't want it to happen. But yeah, no, thank you. Sorry, that is a very tempting offer, ice cake, but I will have to decline. Now I'm thinking about how much I would have. Like, I think honestly, I'd probably do it for like. The thing is, I got to think about how much I could realistically make without face revealing and whether or not it would actually be worth doing. I think it'd probably have to be more than $10,000 to face reveal at this point. Because like, I can make a less amount of money than that over time without, you know, someone paying me. You know. Just joined. How close are you? I'm at 43, so I'm close to 3/4 of the way. All right, let's see. Mine shafts are good for spawners. Johnny Chan, sorry I didn't respond to that earlier. Bro will be Mr. Beast, but steak. Yeah, that would be actually. If it meant that I got large quantities of steak, I would take it. I would take that. I don't see any over here. We're gonna continue this way. Hopefully this mine shaft has more going for it. Angry Child. How about $5.01? Now we're talking. This is exactly what I like to see. Yeah. So everyone who's whoever donates the most gets my name. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, would be interesting. It honestly, it was kind of funny when I accidentally face revealed in that stream though, because like, you know, it's a little like, oh no, now I'm out there. But also, it's very nice to not have to stress out about people accidentally finding out anymore. Oh, you meant $5 to join as a member and then see the live stream? I did delete the reveal, so you wouldn't be able to see it, unfortunately. Though you should still totally become a channel member. It actually is very worth it. We do we've done some tests and live streams together. They get some early access. They get a lot of the behind the scenes photos and stuff that I'm doing in progress that I've made. It's been pretty fun. I've been trying to make it worth it because a lot of people they do a channel membership, you know, tier, and it gets absolutely nothing. So try to avoid that. Let's see. Name the top 10 steaks. That'll be interesting. So, do I have to name individual cuts, or can I name like cut varieties? Because like there's ribeye, but then there's also tomahawk ribeye, and if those are distinct cuts on like, you know, that I can rate individually, then you know my rating system is going to get a little complicated here. So be more specific. Long story short. All right, Kyan, I'm going to see you later. Thanks for hopping in. It was fun having you. Bean Jammin', I give you that money just to go to the grill. That sounds tasty. Yeah, I will actually be smoking them though. They won't be grilled, technically speaking. Though I'm sure you don't have a problem with that if you are an individual with any taste. Smoked ribs are just way better. Jimmy, did you start on this beta version with 4 startup items like the previous one? I did. I haven't had any reason to use any of them yet. Aside from, I guess, the enchantment table. I have been using an enchantment table. But yeah, all those items are currently sitting in my chest at my base. So yeah, I do have end portal frames, I have end portal blocks, but nothing's been used yet. Channel membership or a meal when I'm hungry in college? You know what? I bet that, you know, it's worth losing a meal. I bet 100%. Yeah, no, it's not. Feed yourself. Feed yourself. All right. What is the best trim and color? I think silence looks really cool. I know it's rare and a lot of people go for it just because it's rare, but I actually do think it looks pretty cool. Color though, I'd probably say amethyst. I think it looks sick. I think that it kind of draws. So here's one of my problems with netherite in general is like I want it to be black because black is cool and it looks black unenchanted, but as soon as you enchant it, it's basically purple. And I don't know. I feel like that's a little less awe-inspiring, though purple is, you know, historically speaking, the color of royalty. So, you know, that's good. But I mean, I think that the purple accents distract me from the fact that the entire armor set kind of looks like an off purple. And that helps a little bit. But also it just looks really cool. Looks like the color of magic. Kind of reminds me of like the nether portal vibe kind of color. Ice Cake, do you actually get the whole $5 or does someone take it? That's a good question. YouTube takes 50% of all channel memberships and donations, unless people are using the Streamlabs link that I have in the description. Streamlabs takes a 2% transaction fee, so a couple cents on the dollar, rather than YouTube taking like practically all of it. But you know, not some people might be a little more comfortable just using YouTube's built-in stuff, which I understand. But yeah, so channel memberships be like that. That's kind of why actually most, if not all, big YouTubers use Patreon instead, because Patreon doesn't take a cut similarly to what Streamlabs does, or at least it's not as big. I don't actually know much about Patreon since I don't have one. Generalissimo, best steak cuts to eat. I still am gonna say ribeye. But it depends on what you're making, I guess, because I mean, skirt steak is very good for things like carne asada or something, which is very, very fun. If you're picanha is the name of 2 diamonds, that's sick. Picanha is the name of the like the top sirloin cut that most Brazilian steakhouses use. That is delicious. I love picanha. It's really interesting how like they only really use salt on those, by the way, and that's all the seasoning you generally get, but they taste so good you don't even care. It's pretty awesome what you can do with just salt, and then just, you know, steak's inherent flavor is good. But let's see. Including method to cook them though. I mean, I think another one that I really like is just, you know, butter basted ribeye is really good. Going down. Okay, yeah, I did get cobwebbed by that skeleton. We're not going to talk about it. Bean Jammin, do you have anything where we could talk to you, like on Discord? Bean Jammin, I have a Discord link in the description. I already mentioned that. Honestly, that's on. I've been wondering why you weren't on there, because it's, you know, you're a homie. So I was like, why he should join the Discord. But you know, I don't judge or anything. But you know, you should totally join. Be fun to have you. You missed your chance to get the OG role though. Unfortunately, the people who joined in the first 2 weeks of the Discord being online got an OG role, which is pretty fun. Does Streamlabs give a YouTube membership? You mean like if you donated, like became a channel member on, like, it's not exactly, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately, no. So like YouTube wants its money. So if you were to donate or, you know, subscribe to me somehow with Streamlabs or Patreon or a different, you know, platform, it would not translate over to YouTube. But the main benefits that come with being a channel member are off YouTube anyway. But it wouldn't. The problem is also it's just doing channel memberships off YouTube and doing it on Patreon kind of makes it so you can't do easy and simple channel member streams like you can, you know, by just making it members only. Anyway, it's complicated, but no, it would not work. Bro, just make a Patreon. It won't hurt. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. I should look into it. It's not exactly on the top of my to-do list, though, but I can look into it. That looked like diamonds, but it was just gravel. Nice. Got him. All right, real quick. The music has cycled to the just bird sounds, and I'm putting it back. It does that periodically. The track I'm listening to has an optional ambiance section where it's literally just, you know, the sounds of like Nintendo music, like, you know, like the sounds of Hyrule and Breath of the Wild, and it's nice, but I don't need to hear birds, you know, calling to each other. That's not really what I'm going for. But now I gotta open chat up again. Any favorite sweets or candy? I used to like be addicted to butterscotch. I don't know what hold like why it had such a strong hold on me, but I would actually save coins that I found around my house and in the street, and I had the price for butterscotch candies at my local grocery store memorized, and I would scooter over there on my little on my Razor scooter, and I would I'd have like exact change, and the cashier would always give me a weird look, but I would leave with my butterscotch and I'd be happy. But I lost the taste for it. Snickers are high up on the list. I think Snickers are pretty good. Beyond that, I can't think of any. I don't eat a ton of candy, to be honest with you. It's just I guess I've just lost my taste for, you know, just pure sweet, like sweet stuff overall. Same things happened with like brownies. Brownies used to be like my bread and butter. Like they were so freaking good. But as I got older, I guess I just like lost my taste for it. Maybe I'm unk. Maybe that's like an unk thing. I don't know. Not a ton of spawners in this area, unfortunately. Anything else after a stack of spawners? Today on this stream, I doubt it, just because we won't likely get there until the stream ends. Oh my gosh, 4 diamonds in 1 chest. That's sick. So I don't think we'll do anything else today, but I mean, the plan to use these spawners will be put in action once I have a full chest of them. So that's the idea, but we're a little ways away from having that many spawners, unfortunately. Pluzerma, what is my opinion on brisket? I love brisket. That's actually, I'm surprised I hadn't brought it up already. Though I guess we were talking about steak, and brisket's technically not exactly a steak. It's more like a roast, but very good. I actually, this was sick. Oh, hello. I went to Walmart in October, and I'd never seen them do this before, because Walmart's generally pretty good about getting their product off their shelves before it goes bad. But a brisket on their shelves was hitting its sell by date in the next day or two, so they discounted it by half. So I got a 20-pound brisket for $40. So it's $2 a pound rather than like $4 or $5 a pound like it normally is. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking good. I still have it in my freezer because I haven't had an opportunity to cook it yet, but I am planning on cooking it soon. So I have like just 20 pounds of brisket just chilling. And I am getting pretty good at dealing with cave spider spawners. I have a lot of experience with them, so they're not really that hard to deal with. It's just more annoying oftentimes. Dealing with the webs is the most annoying thing. Do I have any Lego Star Wars sets? I don't. I think I did when I lived with my parents when I was, you know, younger, but if I had them, so here's the problem. Is things like Lego sets don't really survive in a house of 9 kids. They get broken or destroyed or lost almost immediately. So we didn't really get stuff like that very often. It wasn't really a cost thing though. Lego sets weren't as expensive back in the day. How do I check if I have the OG rank? Oh yeah, you already got answered that question. Thanks for whoever that was that answered it. Angry Child, thank you. The bricks are see-through. I thought I explained that. I don't know if I explained that while you were on the stream, Johnny, but I have explained it. 9 kids, yes. They're not my kids. I mean, I grew up in a family of 9 kids, but yeah, I am the middle kid of 9, so I'm number 5. Numero 5. It's a good spot to be. But yeah, there were 9 of us, so it was an interesting way to go. I actually really like being in a big family, though. It's like a party all the time. It's also never quiet. I would go over to my friends' houses and they have like, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 kids or something, and I'd be like, this decibel level is never reached in my house. It's always 10 times louder than this. It's always a bit of a culture shock. We need a Q&A in the Discord about the common questions. You mean like is that snow? Oh my gosh, are we in a snow biome? We are. Okay, we're gonna take a little detour here. I need ice. I need ice really bad, and so we're gonna grab some. Oh my gosh, this is the first time in like, I've been in this world for 150 days, and this is the first biome with snow I've found. Oh my gosh, finally. Bean Jammin', you have well over 500 sets. Oh, Lego sets. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Not gonna lie, I'm jealous. Lego sets are pretty sick. Star Wars does a good job. We need ice. I'm grabbing ice. Okay. Fan, welcome in, welcome in. Not sure if that's actually how you pronounce your name, but I did my best. Welcome in. Water in the nether? Exactly. Exactly. Beta 1.9 pre-4, the version I'm currently playing in, is one of the rare versions of the game where water in the nether can be obtained. And it is obtained by placing ice in it and breaking it. And we are going to not drown down here. That is rule numero uno. We'll go back down to get the rest. Pluzerma, did any go to your school? Yes, but they were all much older than me. Oh my gosh. Okay, at least I was able to breathe in that moment. A little scary. I have a stack. That's good enough for me. We will be satisfied with... Okay, wait. I'm going to take a screenshot of the cords, and we can come back here whenever we want. I don't want to have to get more than that and fill up my inventory with it at the moment. But now that we're on the surface, actually, we can find a better spot for spawners. This way is where we're going. But yeah, so... I had a sister who was 2 years older than me and a brother who was 2 years younger than me. So when I was a senior, when I was a sophomore, she was a senior. So we were in school together for a little bit, but none of them were in my classes. And then the same story with my younger brother. He was a sophomore when I was a senior, but we did not share any classes together. Let's see. Water in the nether. My lord, is that legal? Doesn't matter. Does not matter. It do not matter. Ooh. Wait. That looks like it's a spawner down there. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. All right, we're going to go down there. That is what we like to see. Okay, angry child. Sorry, I missed whatever you said. It drops ice and leaves the water source. Yes, it does. The water source stays, which is super awesome. I will make it legal. Yeah, no. It's been a while since I watched Star Wars, man. My ability to quote has gone down drastically, unfortunately. Though I still do have the basic skills left. Don't worry. Create an ocean biome in the nether. I'm gonna go a little further than that, but that is for way down the line. I only plan to get some water in the nether here for fun. There's actually a way simpler way to do it in modern versions. And so, like, this is actually a pretty bad version to try to get a bunch of water in the nether, because if you spend a ton of time in the nether, you're going to get the old nether generation, which isn't, like, necessarily bad. It's just all going to turn into nether waste down the line. But if you wait and use the later methods, like in 1.17, there's a good method for water in the nether. You can get the post 1.16 nether while putting water everywhere, which is very nice. So that's my plan, is I'm actually going to postpone, but it's still going to be fun to, like, have some water in here for the time being. Okay. I want to get attacked and poisoned. We look like we're good. Yeah, exactly, Bean Jammin'. Oh, dang, I said your full name again. I apologize. But yes, you are right, Ben. The glow lichen water glitch is amazing. So that's my plan for later. Sorry to be disappointing, though. The water cannon. I have not heard of the water cannon. You can also use kelp to spread the water. Exactly. Yep. It's insane. And then also, one dope thing you can do is if you can get, you know, one water source block and then use kelp to make like a pillar of source blocks, you can waterlog a mangrove root, and then you can use pistons to push it wherever you want in the nether. So once you have even one source block in there, you theoretically have water wherever you want in your entire nether dimension forever. It's so awesome. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I mean, lava flows faster in the nether, so you can build faster cobblestone farms with water in the nether. You can build funny looking biomes. You can save yourself from, you know, from dying, at least while you're in 1.17 if you fall in lava. It's easier item sorting since you don't have to use piston pushers and ice. There's so many fun things. Even if you're really crazy with it, and I haven't seen anyone do this before, but it's been theorized, like, as a really fast transportation method, that's, an option, is you make a ton of like a water tunnel basically, bring dolphins into the nether, and then use riptide tridents to like zoom, and you can just use that for long distance travel. So awesome. But it takes a lot of effort to put that much water in the nether, so I've never actually seen it attempted. So it may just be a little too complicated for people to actually pull off, but it's theoretically possible, obviously. I know you don't mind, Ben. I just, I take any opportunity to not talk as much when I'm saying people's names. I don't want to have to repeat the long version every time. Okay, what are we working with? There's one right there. That's that next closest one. Thank goodness block updates can't evaporate water in the nether. I know. It's so amazing. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't have done that if they're trying to be consistent, but you know what? I ain't going to complain. Maybe at the very end of the stream, we'll build I don't think I actually have enough obsidian to build another portal, but maybe we'll build another portal at the very end of stream if we have time and just go in and place some water for fun. Actually, he's British. It's cubic meter. Ice Cake, don't be a grammar Nazi. We already talked about how they're actually worse than real Nazis. You don't want to be like that. I want to check if I missed any. It does not look like I did. Ooh, the dolphin soul sand method. Yes. Sorry, that's probably delayed. The British have a different way to say a lot of stuff, man. They have a different way to... I mean, I guess gray sounds the same, but they spell it with an E instead of an A like we do in the States. Color has a U. There's lots of stuff in it, man. And actually, I think he is British. Oh, actually, you know what? He might be Australian. I forget. I think Australian has the same, spelling conventions when it comes to the stuff they do, like England does. But I'm not confident since I am a resident of the greatest country on the planet, and we do not concern ourselves with silly spelling like England does. All right, let's see. I am kidding, by the way. No hate, no hate. Okay, let's just see if I can deal with this quickly, not have to deal with the fact that it's floating. I did. Okay, excellent, excellent. Armor still somewhat okay. He's Australian. His skin is legit Saxon Hale from TF2. I didn't know that's what he was going for. I just thought he was like a hairy-chested man. But, sure. I never actually played Team Fortress 2. I can barely read the chat. I just woke up. Fair enough. Reading's hard anyway. Okay, we are at 2 hours and 17 minutes. We are officially 3/4 of the way there. A little slower than I would like, unfortunately. Okay. The fact that you're here... Ah, it's above. Okay, we're good. I was not sure where it had gone. We're going up. Ben, had you actually not heard of the Discord, though? I know we moved past this part of the conversation a while ago, but I'm actually surprised you hadn't like seen it. If that's actually real and not a meme. I mean, it's not like I'm exactly pushing it a ton, so I guess it's understandable. All right, that is 49. Very interesting. Have I tried iron or coal blocks for the X-ray? Coal blocks don't exist yet in these versions. I hadn't considered iron. Iron also takes a significant amount of time to mine, though. It's not that much faster than the bricks. So it wouldn't really make that much of a difference. It is faster, though. Though if people keep complaining about it, I might just start using obsidian to troll. We'll see. Oh, you see, I got him with the cobweb UHC style. See, I know what I'm up. I know what I'm up to, man. Hey, let's see. I'm gonna need to go up if I want to see far. Actually, use jack-o'-lanterns for X-ray. You mean like using pumpkins. What's going to be my next most clickbaity thumbnail and title? I like to think my thumbnails and titles aren't very clickbaity. I mean, I want to at least like... Sorry, there's a distinction I like to make between like clickbait and switch. Because like I want people to click, obviously, but I don't want to make them feel like I tricked them before they've even watched 30 seconds of the video. I think that's stupid. But so I don't think in like terms of clickbait, but I mean the title for the video I used the spawners for will likely be something along the lines of the strongest pig farm in history, because that's what it is in hardcore Minecraft. That's the plan anyway. But we still have to see. I may change my mind on that. Okay, it is. I lost it, but it's over here. I think it's behind this wall. I'll take this. Don't mind if I do. Is it 8? That's very nice. Your title's the best kind of clickbait where everything is true. That's what I prefer. That is the holiest way to do. Okay, there it is. Yeah, that is the best way to do it in my personal opinion. Just do stuff that's fun and cool enough where the titles actually are. I like seeing the bedrock down there at the bottom of that shaft. But yeah, just do stuff that's cool enough and sounds cool enough that you can get people to click on it without lying. That's the goal. It's pretty stupid. I literally, there's nothing worse than clicking on a video and realizing that you got baited. It's like so stupid. And like they're just not even pretending to do what they were promising to do in the title. Ugh. Oh, it's so annoying, bro. Do I think the next drop will be any good? The current one's trash. Agreed. The current drop was absolute garbage. Like, what was even the point? Like, I understand that the core Minecraft, you know, demo is you know, small children, but I mean, small children like things that are cool too. You know, they don't just like, you know, cute animals. Like when I was like 7, I was a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. You know, like and that's not exactly like, you know. I mean, it's not necessarily the most, you know, gritty or crazy adult thing ever, but it is like, I don't know. It's not something that people would generally think, oh yeah, that's a kid thing. But I don't know. I just feel like they are they're reaching too hard for their audience that is like, oh my gosh, give me like more pink stuff, or you know, whatever. Not trying to call out women. That's not the point. Girls like other colors too, for the record. But I don't know. I just think like there needs to be more cool stuff to do beyond like, okay, now my zoo has like 3 more cages in it or whatever. Okay, just checking around. This is where diamonds generally spawn in these kind of levels with the lava around. So it's a good chance I find some diamonds around here. So I want to take a look before I start using my X-ray thing. But it is not looking like I'm having good luck right now, unfortunately. All right. Let's see. I have a feeling now they were focusing on something big while handing us a small texture update. I would love it if that were the case, personally. Though, I mean, the thing I'd love most is if they completely undid the texture update and then, you know, gave us the cool stuff anyway. Okay, there's a spawner back here. Yep. But from the leaks, it does seem like it's going to be an interesting drop. There is some hope in my heart, but frankly, I've been burned too many times by Mojang, so I don't really like. I'm not putting a lot of faith in, you know, a drop. They're like the kind of you know, general way it goes is, you know, they choose the most underwhelming of all available options. So we'll see, but I try to remain. I try not to get my hopes up. I missed the gold. That's okay. I'm not trying to focus too much on ores right now. I get them when they're convenient, but I'm focusing on other stuff at the moment. Though I do hear enough spiders that there's very likely another spawner like around the corner here. Aha! I knew it. It was above me and not around the corner, but it was close. So I was almost right. I think it's it's possible based on the leaks that you were showing me, Cookie, that it's going to be something like, you know, some kind of fulfillment of the promise of what the ancient city gateway kind of looks like, which is a doorway to another dimension. But I don't know. Like I said, I avoid getting my hopes up as a rule. Mojang does not always deliver. Okay, I'm not close enough, unfortunately. Sorry, give me a second. I am just making sure I don't die here. Nice. Okay. Place some water, place a torch, and we're good. All right. Wait, is this a double W? Yeah, it is a W tap to sprint. You can't, there is no hotkey, unfortunately. There's no keybind available, which is really lame, but you get used to it pretty quick. We're gonna get a drop where it's just, oh, hey, welcome back, Squirkles. I don't, be more specific about what you're looking for with a stat rebalance. I'm curious. Not that I think everything in Minecraft is perfectly balanced, but I'm curious what you exactly are thinking of when you say that. Another spawner right there. Okay, new helmet it is. Gonna go into this wall here. It's what the cool kids do. Oh my gosh! I don't well, I do have an X-ray thing, but I did not use. Oh wow, that's inside my head. I did not use it. Okay, this was all natural. We'll grab that in a second. Okay, bye bye, broken stuff. See you never. Let's grab some new stuff. One of the nice things about going through so many mine shafts is I don't actually have to cook up the iron I find, because I find so much iron on the side that it never really matters. Okay, let's put this on. Bam. There also is no shift click to put armor on, unfortunately. Yeah, exactly, Cookie, on the underwhelming options. Let's see. Oh, I didn't notice that Benjamin was leaving. Dang it. Is he? Oh, I don't know. I might have missed something there, but you were saying bye, it looked like, so. Oh my gosh, that's nice. 6 vein. We have 15 ore with us. That is not too shabby. Creeper explosion radius 2 times smaller, decrease unnatural death or something. Honestly, if they did an update where it was entirely just fixing bugs in Bedrock, I wouldn't complain. You know, and I don't even play Bedrock. I just feel like that the Bedrock players deserve something good in their lives, because it's just so much bad, man. They just never get anything good, except for glitches. They do get some good glitches. They have some good Duke glitches and whatnot, and they can bridge really easily, which I really don't understand. Why is there a parity issue with, like, why is there a parity difference with bridging? That just makes no sense. Block placement should be consistent across versions. That's one of the weirdest ones for me. Oh, Bean Jammin', you're saying bye to Ice Cake. I didn't realize Ice Cake was leaving. I missed that. Too bad. I am fairly good at the double tap to sprint at this point. I just have a lot of practice. A good nerf for charge creepers would be like, they're really loud. I don't run into them enough to really think about it, honestly. You want to, like, triple or quadruple the normal golden tool speed? That's interesting. I feel like I still wouldn't use them. Okay, that was pointless. There's no diamonds over here. Every time I get this low, I always want to look for diamonds, but we're distracting from the point, which is spawners. We're actually back on track, though, with the amounts we have right now. We're gonna mine up slightly, because when you're this low, I don't know if you guys can see it. We're not low enough for it to really be visible. Let's go down here. Maybe we won't go exactly right down here. Oh, whatever. I'll just take a little bit of damage. Even this isn't low enough. There's void fog down this low. You can see it getting darker over there. If you go down too far, even with the X-ray, you can't see anything. So. Wrong person, it's Ice Cream Man. I'm so confused. That's what I get for trying to read and play Minecraft at the same time. I will say though that if they did make those golden tool changes and make golden notch stuff very interesting. Aha! Hello. We're gonna get that, and then we'll move up here. Very good, very good. We should be able to mine logs in deep slate. You mean like insta-mine? Is that what you're saying? You wonder why big empty cubes generate sometimes? Yeah, there's some weird generation stuff in these early versions. Like, I don't know if you noticed when we were by the water, but underwater in like the ocean or wherever, randomly there'll be like just air blocks underneath the ocean for no reason whatsoever, and I almost got rid of my water. That would have been really awkward. That spider was moving. Did you see that? I don't know if what it had just taken, but I want it. Got a speed potion. Okay. We got that, and we will block the... Oh, that's not how to block the floor. Bam. Okay. I can read chat. Let's see. Better appenders to mobile devices. I hadn't thought about that, honestly. Though it is cheaper on mobile, but I guess it is bought a lot anyway, so... There's one more here that we'll get before we go up there and over there. We have a good spot here, actually. All right, Generalissimo, have a good shower. Hygiene is important. I learned that from my bullies in elementary school. That's not even a joke, actually. I used to not shower enough, and then my bullies made it clear. They made it clear, crystal clear. Mistaken, you gotta shower. And I said, okay. Okay, I think it's up to the right now. Bam! We did it. Okay, now let's light this up. No one ever bullied me. I've been the tall guy. I mean, maybe you live in a nice place. I mean, sorry. I never really got, like, horribly bullied, but everyone will bully a tall, stinky guy. And that was my problem, because I smelled really bad, because I did not shower enough. That's one of the reasons that, honestly, you know, and I talk to people about this, bullying, honestly, it has a place. It has a place in society, because you know what it did for me? It helped me have good hygiene. I got made fun of in school for smelling terrible, and you know what? I never went to school without showering again. And I think that is a net positive for society. Exactly. Bullies can be very useful, you know? It's kind of like the Suicide Squad, except, you know, we don't want them to die. Builds character. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, there is the off chance that, like, you create more bullies, you know? Like every single kid, like, you know, 90s show ever where the bully was just like, well, I got bullied when I was younger, and so I bully everyone else. And so that's just kind of how bullying spreads like a disease. But, oh my gosh. There are so many spawners over here. We only need 9 more. We might get them all in this area. That'll be sick. Okay, we're going to go straight forward to get these 2. Then we're going to go up and get this one. We're going to get these 3. That's crazy. There's quite a few here. Jackpot. Exactly. Benjamin, also, I play hockey. That's true. That's you did mention that, I remember. Yeah, hockey. A tall hockey player probably wouldn't get bullied very often. That's probably fair. Alrighty, let's see here. Okay, I was hoping this would curve to the right, but it hasn't yet. And it still hasn't. Maybe it's just going to be a roundabout way. Okay, that was a very roundabout way. It seems to be working, though. Now, how close are we? Should be right over there behind these walls. Very good. I haven't actually been to the Nether in this world yet, by the way. So if we actually do that at the end of stream, that's going to be very interesting. Hopefully I don't, like, you know, immediately perish. That'd be awkward. Oh my goodness. Got owned. Oh, there's one behind me. That's why I was like, you're not supposed to take damage that quickly, my guy. But it was because they were behind me. All right, we'll mine this up. I've just been on a goal drought. Don't mind me. I actually have no idea what that means. Unless you're a goalie. Are you a goalie? Does that mean, like, people, you know, you starve them of goals? Is that how it works? That's what it sounds like anyway. Okay, and there's that other one we were looking at. We'll wait a second. Line this up. All right. I play on defense and I haven't scored at all this season. Oh, well, I mean, that's not necessarily. I mean, I'm sure it's not as fun, you know, for you not to get to score, but I mean, it's not necessarily a failure on your part. If you're playing your role well, it means you may not get to score very often, I suppose. I used to play soccer when I was younger. Actually, yeah. I used to. I was thinking when I played football, but I only played on offense in football. But when I was younger and played soccer, I was always on defense too. Sometimes though, I'd like go hog wild and I'd like get the ball on like the back like quarter of the field and run it all the way, because I think I just got starved for attention. But I usually didn't score. I actually was pretty cracked back in the day, like when I was really young. But not for long. Other kids caught up, unfortunately. Nice. Bam. It always feels pretty good to be the guy that saves everything, though. It's pretty fun. That's actually... I get... wow, I lost the ability to speak there for a second. But the only times in my life where I've, like, in PE or other kind of situations where I've been like, called in as, like, one of the first picks for a team has been in games that have goalies, because for some reason, I'm just cracked at it. So, like, whenever we hit a unit in my PE class that had a goalie position, I was called in every time. And my best friend, actually, in high school, was also cracked at goalie stuff. So we'd always be on the opposite teams as goalies. And it was always really fun competing with each other to see how many goals we'd let through. That was fun. Generally, Smil, welcome back. Glad you showered. We were talking about hygiene while you were gone and why bullying is important. That's mainly what you missed, aside from finding like a bajillion spawners. We never played floor hockey when I was in high school. We did play handball, but that's not really hockey at all. Johnny John, you're back from eating. Nice. Eating is also important. Would recommend. Dang it. And really rarely in these versions you can find enchanted golden apples in the dungeon chests. I've found 2 so far. So they do happen. But I mean, you can craft them a lot more easily than you can find them. So it's not really worth it to like troll for enchanted golden apples, but it still is fun to find them. Generalissimo, you trying to say hello, but you said halam? Or is it like, is that some kind of, is this a language I don't know? Apples are more rare. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. You can't buy them in these versions. So... That is true. In these versions, it's impossible to make them without strongholds, and there's only 3 strongholds in the freaking world. And you're not even guaranteed to get apples, because they're not a guaranteed spawn. It's pretty weird, honestly, how they made them apples so freaking rare. Alrighty, finding this one. Do I think I'll find a triple chest? I found them before, but not in this world. They are not very common, but they have happened. To moi. Okay, we need 5 more. We are 20 minutes from my time limit, so we are looking like we're going to be done on time or a little early, which is good. This is why you only need 1 to dupe. Yeah, you know me though. I can't be duping. At least not generally. I've been considering altering my stance somewhat, but not in too many meaningful ways. It's like maybe with certain specific things I might dupe, but it's gonna take a lot of thought, because like I was saying earlier, like towards the beginning of stream, it occurred to me that the God Particle farm was literally just like a duping farm, an XP duping farm, but like dressed up really nicely in technical stuff, you know. But essentially, at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's just an XP duper. So, it's kind of interesting. Like that, I'm honestly considering. I wasn't planning on duping XP for my million levels project, but now considering the fact that the main like fastest farm in the game exclusively uses duping. Part of me is considering, you know, letting that be fair game for XP. Specifically to get 1,000,000 levels once and then, you know, never do it again. Should have asked if ASB737 hopped on stream. That'd be funny. I actually, though, being jamming, dang, I said it again. I know it's fine, but I want to say Ben. I won't need to dupe any bedrock. I have a method where I can get it consistently. It just takes a good amount of effort. I'm gonna get a full chest of it without dupes. That's the plan. The methods for obtaining it are fairly well known. I don't think I have to explain it to you. It's not really a secret, but there are some 1.9 versions that make the bedrock obtainable with end crystals. And so the bottleneck is just the sheer amount of end crystals you can farm. And I have a very good ghast farm that I'm going to be building. So, let's see. The dungeon chest, a couple of chests is a Herobrine sighting. Interesting. I didn't know that. I'm not as familiar with Herobrine lore. I'm very familiar with these versions, but they did come a little before my time, so a lot of the lore has been lost, at least, you know, for me. Let's block that off so these bad boys down below don't come up here. Bam. Torch, and let's water this. I wonder if 5 stacks of notch apples is possible by crafting. Johnny, I'm gonna get 1,000,000 of those by crafting, so yes, it is possible. I mean, I technically haven't fully committed to 1,000,000, but I have confirmed that I have a way. So, it's up there for sure. I don't, Ben. I don't know what you're referring to, but it's cool that you have 3 shulkers of crystals. It will take, on average, assuming I get the average performance for the glitch working, it will take me 18 shulkers of end crystals to get a full chest of bedrock, unfortunately. So it's going to take quite a bit. That is, so because I can get enough by just working hard, that is not on my list of things I'm considering duping. End portal frames are on the list, but I still have not really made a decision about that. Real Midas, would you get spawn eggs from the vote update? That is actually my down the line. I plan to do that update is called 23W13A or B. I plan to do a full playthrough of that version and try to get a bunch of spawn eggs. The goal will be actually to get every single available spawn egg in the game. At least at that point, there are some that won't be in there, like the copper golem and trial chamber mobs and stuff. But a lot of other ones will be. Most other ones, in fact. And that'll be a really fun project to work on. So I plan on doing that, though. I hope that rather than get the game rule that makes chickens lay anything, I was hoping eventually when I do this, I'm hoping that I get the game rule that makes it so mobs have an X% chance to drop their egg when they die. That would require me to kill the Ender Dragon a couple times to get its egg, the Wither, the Warden. Much more satisfying and fun, I think, than just waiting for chickens. But if all I got was the chicken one, I wouldn't be upset. Didn't lose my brick. I made a notch apple farm in Minecraft, 1,000 an hour. Actually, it would be... I would... With the farm... Now, the thing is, crafting them would become a bit more complicated just because in old versions where you can, you know, craft enchanted golden apples, you, the methods for getting the gold, obviously, in large quantities would be a gold farm. But, that comes in nuggets. So it means that you have to get a strong gold farm where you can get a lot of nuggets, and then you have to craft all the nuggets into... Wow, there's a lot of spiders. You have to craft all the nuggets into gold, and you have to craft the gold into blocks, and then you have to craft those into the apples. The sheer crafting time will limit you pretty heavily. But I have a farm that is strong enough to get me a full chest of enchanted golden apples an hour, assuming there is no delay by crafting, which there is. So it won't in reality actually get me that many an hour, but... Angry Child, will you use any spawn eggs you get on your spawner collection? Good question. I'm considering it. It kind of depends. I wouldn't use them in a farm if I was to do that. If I did, it would just be for decoration or a flex. I think that you could very easily break the game using spawners that way. Like, for example, you could make an incredibly overpowered, like, iron golem farm that I think may unless you build like a max efficiency vanilla one, it could outperform most iron farms easily, right? So it kind of depends on how I commit to use them. But if I commit myself, you know, like I'm planning, well, 1, 2 right there, and that's all we need. If I commit myself to just have them be decoration, I'd be open to a lot of them actually. I think it'd be fun. Though you'd have to be really careful with some of them, like an Ender Dragon spawner. It doesn't have its normal AI, but it can still destroy blocks, so it can like totally destroy your builds, which would be really annoying. I think it's 1 block above me. But yeah, so you have to be a little careful with the with some of the eggs, but overall, I think it'd be fun. True. It's very true that you have to be close to the spawner for it to work. The thing is, though, is it doesn't have the same cooldown that villagers have, and you can get a lot of spawners inside your spawn radius. So there is some potential to speed things up beyond what you could do with a normal farm. It just kind of depends on how you build it, I guess. Okay, where the heck is this? Right in front of me? Okay, yeah, it is. It was just a little further forward. Okay, let me catch up on chat. Ben used Nembon's farm. Crafting nuggets is slow. Yeah, I'm honestly, part of me is considering getting a mod when I do this that will just make crafting faster, or maybe just a mac. Maybe I'll just get it like craft like write a macro or something to like help me craft faster, because I don't want to break my hands. You know, I don't want to get carpal tunnel crafting gold into blocks. That sounds terrible. So I'll figure that out. It would be nice to avoid carpal tunnel. I prefer to avoid, you know, things like that when possible. Okay, we're gonna go ahead. Since I'm gonna build the fastest pig farm design, what's the layout? I guess you'll have to wait for the video. I'm not gonna spoil everything. I want to leave you guys with a reason to watch the video, you know. So not a good time. Come back later. Thank you. I guess he won't be coming back at all, but that's okay. I'm gonna go back in here and not die. Let's do that. We're good. 2 hearts. Easy. Ben, you built ENXO4's day 1 iron farm, and you have 20 shulkers of iron blocks since it's chunk. Yeah, they're OP. If you just let them sit, you really don't need better than that. They're definitely all you need for sure. I'm still hearing a ton of spiders. Are there just a bunch stuck somewhere? Maybe I'm just hearing these. Johnny, hopefully flooding the nether is part of the stream. I won't flood it, but I will. There will be water in there. I think I can commit to that at this point, because we're gonna get our last spawner we need right now, basically. Assuming I don't die, of course, which, you know, isn't necessarily off the table. You can never really take that off the table in hardcore. All right. Oh, I forgot about these guys. All right, well. Sweet. This is 64. Get out of here, Generalissimo. I'm not going to die in this stream. Dying is for peasants. I once was a peasant very recently, but you can always stop being a peasant is the thing. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm that close to the surface. Nice. Double chest with shulkers. Double chest of shulkers, like, you know, like the shells. That's pretty sick. His shulker farm really is it's very strong. He has some good stuff. A good amount of his stuff is outdated though, not through any fault of his own. It's just a reality of, you know, the game progresses. I don't know how much new stuff he even posts, but so yeah, I don't know. We're gonna boat home. Bam, 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 bam. We'll turn that into torches since I don't want to have the sticks in my inventory. More ice. Laughs in 1.17. Yeah, 1.17 is kind of the prime for a lot of his farms. I think if that's the reference you're making, I'm pretty sure that's what you mean. And that's what it, you know, that's the first thing I thought of anyway. Wise word from steak crates. Yeah, peasant. Yeah, don't be a peasant, guys. Come on. All right. Well, we have a full stack of spawners. That puts us at 10. We are officially past a third of the way. Let's go. That is what I mean. I'm glad I caught it, though. The fact that I had to ask and confirm if that's what you meant kind of ruins it a little bit, unfortunately. Okay, hopefully there's not ice completely blocking the path, because then I'd have to get a new boat, which would be rather disappointing. Also, I've had a drink in front of me that I haven't finished this whole time, and I forgot it was there. All right, yeah, I'm going to need to get a new boat. I'm not going around this. All right, boat, break. Okay, it didn't break. If you approach the shore at an angle, the boat will always break, but I did not approach at an angle this time. Anything you recommend prior to updating past 1.17? I'd have to look at my list. My phone's dead, and that's where I have my file of all the cool stuff to do. So hop into the Discord, and then maybe we can talk about it after. But when I've charged my phone. But at the moment, I can't think of anything necessarily. A lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to do around 1.14 that I would recommend doing before you update. But you're past that, and I already know you're not into downgrading, so I wouldn't, bring those up. Find a village. There's not really a point if you're talking about like going to bed, because villages don't spawn with beds in these versions. So yeah, there wouldn't really be much of a point. Are we finally going to have the promised house made out of spawners from the end of last stream? Did I promise that? I'm sure someone's gonna bring receipts and prove that I promised that, but I don't remember promising that. I'm down to think about it. Maybe not in this stream, because I am running out of time. Mrs. Staken has been with the Chillins all day today. She has a actually, lore, but we Mrs. Staken and I, we met in high school. We got married, several years later after we graduated, but we had the same math teacher at one point, and that math teacher pays her to nanny his kids, and so she brings the baby Stakens with her to go do that. But that means that she was not only watching somebody else's kids, but also watching our kids all day. So it would be slightly unfair to make her keep watching them and just push stream back. So I'm not gonna do that. BJM, I'd be willing to add chunks to my world from others if I legitimately got them from another world. Yeah, that's fair. I used to think I wasn't okay with that, but considering how dangerous downgrading is, it really is just like it's a fine option. So long as you get them legitimately, I don't think it's a problem either. Ben, how do you find someone? Talking about, marriage? Well, it's a good question. I mean, oh my gosh, that guy has a laser. Oh my goodness. I'm surprised he hit me when I was moving. Though I feel like skeletons were more accurate in these versions. Well, I think it depends a lot on the kind of groups you associate with. For example, I think that like if you're very religious, I would recommend, like, a lot of church groups are very good places to meet people. A lot of it's funny. There are some that are worse, but some that are very, very incredibly good. I actually heard a story from someone I knew who is Jewish, and their matchmaking skills are off the charts. Like, not even like, it's not even a meme. They're just incredibly good. Like, he was like, oh yeah, no, if anyone says they want to get married, I call my cousin and he hooks you up. Like, it's incredibly fast. So like, point is though, is that putting yourself around the people, like the group that you want to, the pool of people that you hope to, find someone, is kind of the goal. So if you're kind of hiding inside your house playing Minecraft all day, it's not exactly the best way to find a person, if you know what I mean. But there's a lot of luck. Yeah, Mistaken is married. We're going back to base, Johnny. We're going back to base. But yeah, so I'd recommend, just being where the other people are. That's the best. That's stupid advice, but that's the advice I can probably give. I mean, I'm not exactly an expert on getting married. I've only done it one time, but that is kind of how it works when you succeed in marriage. I don't hide. I clean, build Lego, and play mine. My bad. My bad. I misunderstood. I misunderstood. Clearly, you know what you're doing. Got a cough. 1 second. Second cough of the stream. Feeling much better. But yeah, I would just try to put yourself out there. If you're into blind dates aren't a bad idea. But one thing that's nice about college too is, you know, make as many friends as possible. Don't live with friends you already have, because the thing is, you know, if you make a friend, that friend has friend. You know who those guys will know? Girls. And that's a cheat code, man. Meeting girls. That's a good way to do it. Blue Shadow Man, I feel like I've talked to you about this before, but we weren't exactly high school sweethearts per se. I did take Mrs. Staken to junior homecoming. And we went on like 4 or 5 dates in high school. But we never went steady or anything. I got 100 marriages in Minecraft. Yeah. No, that's pretty fire idea. Be a good one for me. You have no idea where to start. Well, I mean, I don't know how old you are, but, you know, depending on how old you are, it's not necessarily a bad thing that you have no idea where to start. You're not really supposed to. But, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, you just gotta be social. Like, actually, we met in high school, Mrs. Staken and I, but the reason we met is because I tried to be social. So I went to I was in choir in high school, and I wasn't in the girls' choir because I'm a man, but the girls' choir was having a concert, and I went to support them with a friend, and that friend of mine knew a girl, and she was at the concert, and she was like, we were talking, I sat next to her the whole concert, and we were chatting a lot, and she was like, hey, you're pretty cool, you should come to my house, we're doing this party thing, and I'm like, social activity, but I manned up and I went. And that is the party where I met Mrs. Staken. So it ended up being worth it being social. But I tend to be a little antisocial personally. I don't know if that surprises you, Minecraft YouTuber not exactly having an amazing social life. But yeah, so when trying to be social worked out very well. So I think just doing what's within your power to you know, get on someone's radar and meet people. That's kind of all you can really do. You can't really control anything else. They keep breaking my sprint. Almost just walked into that one. I still have armor though. I would have been fine. Let's eat some food. Johnny Chan, I feel your anxiety. I'm really not that bad in social environments. Like I'm not antisocial because I'm bad at it. I'm actually like, I generally kind of, I don't try to be the center of attention or anything, but like I generally kind of gather a crowd because I'm very entertaining in person. Especially actually if I'm anxious, I'm more entertaining because my anxiety leads me to talk really fast and say really stupid, funny stuff. But so maybe it's like less people really like me and they're more like, hey, let's go watch the show. But dang it, I said sorry, Blue Shadow Man. But anyway though, I do have a lot of fun in social stuff, but it's very draining for me. Like I have fun, but I feel very drained afterwards. It's not energizing for me. So, you know. Top 10 ways to add clickbait to titles. Yeah, Generalissimo, at this rate, you're gonna be a paid writer for me. Just help me come up with titles. Make the whole thing capitalized. Very true, very true. Thank you, Angry Child, for the F. Appreciate it. Yeah, then Ben, I think you just need to, like, you know, get yourself out in public at different things. You need to join, like, different groups. Like, choir was a really great way for me to make friends. Some of them were weird, but that's okay. I'm also a little weird, hence, you know, the whole Minecraft YouTuber thing. But not that we're all weird, but we're all a certain kind of crazy, I think. Do I see my base? There it is. Yeah, most of my friends in high school I made either from living right next to them, like they were my neighbors, like my best friend in high school that I mentioned earlier, who, you know, we were competing against each other in soccer, like goalie stuff. He lived like 5 or 6 houses down from me. So we were homies and he was right next to me. That was an easy way to make a friend, is, you know, proximity. But putting yourself into groups where there are other people you can make friends with, that's a really easy way. So choir was great. I did a lot of service activities in high school. Like, I actually did like a, there's this program where I live. It's kind of like a big brother, big sister kind of thing, but with special needs kids. And so we'd all go and have these big fun activities and parties with special needs kids and give their parents a break so they could kind of, you know, reset. There we go. How can I make this look satisfying is the question. That's not bad. But anyway, now we gotta get some obsidian hopefully and go to the nether. But anyway, so finding groups was my main way of making friends for sure. Let's go ahead and just set this cooking while we go find some obsidian. Let's not cook the diamonds. That's a bad idea. I know I could put these in, you know, I could split this up more evenly across the furnaces so they run faster, but that's not my priority right now. That would be 7. Wait. Yeah, 7, I think. Whatever, I don't care. I put 8 in there. Not reading chat for a second. I'll catch up momentarily. Bam. Okay. I have a lot of gunpowder. There's the spider eyes. There's the string. Put my ender pearls in there. Looks very good in here. Okay. Let's go find us some obsidian. Nether flooding time indeed. The simplest thing to do will probably be, you know what, actually, here, let's go back here. This is my secret spider spawner that I'll use later for a string farm. I think if I follow this, there's a lava pool at the end of it. Though I can't recall perfectly. I'm pretty sure there's a lava pool down here. Ah, flint and steel. I thought you were making a Minecraft movie joke, but then I realized what you were doing. Okay, we're good. Okay, and I think down here, just following my footsteps here. Yeah, I do have a lot of gunpowder. I've been doing the work, man. I wanna use a bunch of TNT later on. One of my projects, so for the gold farm thing, oh my gosh, is this lava pool almost empty? I didn't realize I had emptied it this far. If that's the case, this is not gonna be enough. No. Well, we'll try it. Okay, 3. We can do better. Let's not accidentally burn the obsidian. That'd be a stupid thing to do. Okay, it does go a little deeper. We're good. Let's put this here. Sorry, going back. Yeah, so to make the gold farm super fast for the Enchanted Golden Apple project, I'll be starting down the line. I'm going to build a perimeter for it. And building perimeters in 1.8 is very difficult. And TNT duping it's not really a thing. So you have to do everything manually, you know, with actual crafted TNT. Stake do the speedrun portal. Did you see the lava pool I'm working with? There's not enough lava here for it. And this takes a while. I'm doing my best. I'm keeping commitments. Being a good YouTuber. All right. You know, there's actually, since we were talking about friends, here, let's place water down here. You can see the void particles. You see those? Those are so fun. I missed that, actually, when I played in newer versions. Next stream, put on the Dream speedrun music. I think some of it is available to use by anyone, but a lot of it is actually he had to pay to use it. So I'd rather not pay several $100s to get the rights to play music in my videos. I'd rather use stuff that I can play for free, like Nintendo music. But I was gonna say there's kind of an interesting story about friends, and like, you know, activities and whatnot. But here's kind of the story. So this lady's talking to her friend, and she's and it's a lady and a guy friend, I guess. And she's like, you know, I've been feeling so terrible because like I can tell that all the other people in the neighborhood or in this group have been having activities without me, and they're all doing such fun stuff, and I'm not invited, and I'm missing out, and I just have no friends, and I'm unhappy, and all this different stuff. Kind of talking a lot about how she doesn't feel like she has opportunities to make friends and do things with friends, and she feels left out. And the guy's like, that's funny. I've heard that from 2 others in your group so far. It turns out that like all of them think everyone else is setting stuff up and doing stuff, but nobody's doing anything, and they're all just sitting lonely. So I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it's a lot more about what you do than it is about, the right group or the right people suddenly appearing. You just got to put yourself out there, which I no longer have to do because I am a married man. I can be antisocial and it'll be fine. It will be totally fine. Plus, again, all my siblings still live very close. And we're all older now. Like my youngest sister is going to graduate in 6 months or so. Well, actually, no, like 3 months or so. Holy crap. But so we're all adults and whatnot, and we hang out really frequently. My sister and her husband were actually over last night. So I don't really feel the need for outside of family friends, just because, I don't know. I have enough. You know what I'm saying? You only really need one good friend if your goal is just friends. If your goal is finding ladies, you want as many friends as possible. Try putting yourself out there. I will say that Discord is probably not the best way to find a girlfriend. If that's your main strategy, you're going to be very likely disappointed. Okay, we've got all of the obsidian we need. I don't want to seem like I'm asking an uncomfortable question. Feel free not to answer. But Ben, are you still in high school, or are you graduated already? That kind of changes the math somewhat. All right, back inside the secret spider farm. Close it up. All right, I feel like see, the problem here is that this wall is straight into the skeleton part, so we don't want to put it there. So I guess we just put it right here. This seems like the middle-ish. Wait, that one. No, that one's right. Yeah, I need to take that one. Yep. I heard that humming, and I didn't realize what it was, but it's the Kakariko Village track has some of the this is right. Has some of the villagers in Kakariko Village making noise, and that just threw me off so hard. I was like, who is talking? All right, here we go. Go ahead and put this in our hotbar. All right. College now, community college currently. I feel like there are okay, here we go. First time in the nether in this world. Let's not immediately perish, please. Ah, look at that. Look how ugly it is. Wow. This is horrifying. Just out of curiosity, I don't see any nether fortresses, unfortunately. Look for blaze spawners. Yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time looking for blaze spawners on stream, but this is a relatively flat area, actually. Kind of impressed. Okay, yeah, netherrack would be really nice to make invisible for the texture pack. I'm having second thoughts now. Maybe I'll change that for next stream. I'll have to think about it. Okay, we're going to take some of this. I could mine the blaze spawners, that's true. They're a little more few and far between than the spider spawners are, but it is true. The nether's also just, 18 bajillion times more dangerous, but it's whatever. Let's make a pool 3x3 for now. I think I only need to place ones at the sides. Hey! Welcome to the future, brethren. This is how we do it. Now we just gotta place one up high. It'll have a little waterfall going into it, right? All right, Generalissimo, good to have you. Drive safe. What the heck? That didn't work. It only works when there's a flat something beneath it. That is incredibly interesting. Okay, wait. Hold up. I can fix that, though. We're going to go ahead and do this. This and that. Yeah, there we go. That's really interesting. I hadn't even seen that. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is. Drinking and driving, don't worry. All right. I would not advise it, but you do you, man. I can't get out of here. It's not letting me out. Look at this. Look at this. I'm moving. I'm holding W, I swear. It's very interesting. Well, dang. That's fun. It's kind of annoying. Oh, I see what's happening. I gotta break this side block over here. Then it'll be more satisfying. Up we go. There it is. All right. Look at that. Isn't that just wonderful? Oh, man. I love that. Okay. Maybe I will run around and find blaze spawners in this version, because, like, worst case scenario, if I get in trouble, all I have to do is, like, bam. And then what are they going to do? You know? That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, we got our full stack of spawners. We got water in the nether as promised. That's probably going to be all we got time for stream today. But I am really grateful that you guys all watched this far. Appreciate those who stuck around. It was really fun. Next stream, hopefully I'll have a bit more time and we can get more spawners. But anyway, that was really fun, guys. I'll see you next time. Adios. Oh, yes. Tomorrow is stream, by the way. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. my time. Adios officially, though. Get out of here. It's time for stream to be over. No. Where are you? Okay, we're out of here. Bye.